Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I'm a Twitch affiliate. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Woo, hoo, hoo. It was only a matter of time with that kind of quality content. But we don't do self-deprecation anymore, folks. We do mildly sarcastic, over-the-top, self-congratulatory stuff. That's what we're into. Is this working? Is this working? Um, I think we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So, again, yeah, restream does work. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Uh, nice, nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm seeing what's going on here. All right, so it's gonna be like a descending. It's gonna go down. That's how it's gonna work. Beautiful. I woke up this morning, got on Instagram, and then I accidentally hit like on a post and then unliked it and then hit like again and then unliked it and hit like again. So that's cool. And then I was still in bed and I heard a loud bang, and then my wife was like, "Oh no." And I knew what it was when I heard both of those sounds together, and it was a bird that had hit the window pretty hard, and which has happened before, and it is a day not ruiner, but didn't make me feel good, and it was my job to look at the bird and assess the damage. So I went out there in my undies, and it was a little blue bird, and it was not looking good. Some would say I should have put it out of its misery, but there have been times when the birds have recovered and they've gone to fly on and live really beautiful lives, where hitting the window just becomes a distant memory. Plus, I would never do that anyway. But I did realize that I am a doctor, so I went out there. I started asking it about what its childhood was like, and it didn't respond. That's called resistance, and you can't force a patient to enter a stage of transformation until they're ready. Otherwise, it can cause even more damage. And so I said, "Well, you let me know when you're ready to talk." And I gave it a few minutes, and I came back, and it was gone. So one of two things happened. It either flew away, maybe just got a little dizzy, or it was taken away. By a coyote, a different bird, the Lord. But it was gone. So, win, I guess. Because normally I would have to go out and I put like the gloves on, and it makes me feel really bad, you know? Your money's on the Lord. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to bet against the Lord, if there's one thing that I've learned in life. Or a coyote for that matter. But I think I would have seen the coyote. And what is a bummer It doesn't happen often. It happens maybe once, twice a year, maybe. And what we've done is we put stickers on the windows, like reflective stickers, because certain times a day the sun just hits, and they don't know. They're not the brightest creatures, but yeah, maybe twice a year, and boy, it bums me out. We have sliding glass doors where they'll occasionally hit, and then our living room is big windows, and then a tree out, so the birds will hang in the tree. And then I think sometimes they might see like a bug or something, but it's actually a reflection, and they just like slam into that thing, man. And it is heartbreaking. So testing YouTube chat coming in. Thank you. Yes, if you're on YouTube, I will be able to see what you're saying. And if you're on YouTube, welcome. Thanks for being here. We're going to begin with a much needed meditation / centering / clearing out the bad energy, which clearly there is some today. This is I don't know what the transits are doing. What is, like, Mercury sextiling Jupiter or something? Is it? Let me find out. Let's see what's up in the heavens. Do a quick astrology check. Oh, you guys want to hear my horoscope? This is my daily horoscope. No matter how serene you appear, you've got a lot going on in your mind. Thank you. Thank you. In this Gemini season, your thoughts are whirring faster than usual, so release any mental buildup weighing on... Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Confide your secret doubts and dreams to your journal. I don't think it's any of my journal's business. Lean in on the healing or creative practices that help you relax. What could that be? And say no to any social plans that disturb your peace. That's all of them. The goal isn't to shut out the rest of the world. Beg to differ. It's to tune out distractions so you can hear your own inner wisdom. Well, I would love to hear some inner wisdom. What do we got going on, though? Okay, so we have the crescent moon. A bug right here. And if I want to know more, I have to pay. Okay, daily rituals. Kindness. Breakthrough. Anyway, yes, welcome. My name is Dr. Elliot Morgan. Welcome, folks, to the stream. We're going to have a great time today. It's going to be pretty chill, and we're not going to talk about death. There's not going to be any questions about death. You know? How do you know what's death? How do you see it? Is it just in models, or is it actually dead bodies? That is a reference to a debate I didn't know was going on until I woke up this morning, and that's what we're going to be looking at today, perhaps among other things. And thank you for fixing the bug, Jesse. I don't know what you're talking about, or if you're referencing the bug I was just referencing. Oh, it wasn't working. Oh, now it is. Sweet. Okay, cool. Isn't this nice? I can, you can see it. It's better than it was. And that's what comes with being a Twitch affiliate. I just get that kind of perk, you know what I mean? And the bluebirds aren't exactly the nicest birds, in the rogue gallery we got over here. They are incredible bullies. Same with the crows, but I like the crows. Or whatever they're called. I'm not a zoologist. But they will beat the crap out of the hawks. And the hawks are just chilling, dude. They mean no harm, but there's some kind of, I guess, in nature, different animals compete over food. Grow up. Thanks, Jesse. Jesse says, I believe there are an infinite number of consciousnesses, and that upon death, we just merge into a different version of ourselves. What if you like the version that you got? I got no notes over here, I tell you. Last time one of those birds hit the sliding glass door, I like truly was in shambles. Grace was in the garage, and then I heard it happen, and it was like someone flips a switch on how the day is gonna go. But that's just not how it works. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes birds fly into windows that you have specifically put so many stickers on to tell them to steer clear because of all of the death and the mayhem. And see, the like in the mornings, the bugs, the whatever come up, and they're flying around here too. And they've come close. Like sometimes hummingbirds, especially, they don't fly. They're not smarter, maybe, but they're a little less like dive bomby, and they'll come up and like look at me. Then last week, two crows fell out of the tree together, and it was like, you know, in Price is Right, like the Plinko game, I think it's called, and it just went all the way down. And they both, I think they were getting up to some no good funny business, but they smacked into the ground and then got up and started yelling at each other like an old married couple. But I don't think they have that kind of legal process. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I have a couple videos, and then let's go ahead and start with the thing. Are everyone feeling good? All right, here we go. All right, let's see if this is still, I haven't actually looked through my OBS scenes. You don't even. If a bird hits, I'm in a shed. I don't know if y'all know that. Comic-Con story about hundreds of dead birds. It must have been the worst day of your life. A Comic-Con story about hundreds of dead birds? Yeah, well, are you talking about the anomalous thing that happened? No, that's not what you're talking about, but there is a story about meat falling from the sky somewhere. And that it still goes unexplained. I think it was like in Kentucky or something. Dead birds and a Batman waiter? Was I at this Comic-Con? Are you referencing me? Because I've only been to like one Comic-Con. VidCon. Maybe. But I won't probably remember. For various reasons. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you might be wrong. But a Batman waiter and hundreds of dead birds? I mean, it sounds, all the pieces are there. Yes, perfect. The camera looks great. No, I don't need to check it before that. Whoa. Incredible stuff. This is what it is to be a Twitch affiliate. Elliot affiliate. Is that alright? Can you see me? Can you see it? Is this coming from the... Alright. Let's get centered, everybody. You let me know if... And actually, let's go ahead and... Yeah, let's go ahead and just fix the whole thing. Welcome to the... I heard there's a thing called studio mode where you can actually fix things. No, this is great. I mean, that's just a bit, folks. That's just what we call a bit. Yep, incredible. What about cam chat? Let's see how this looks. Oh, that works. All right. Let me know if you can hear this. Let me know if it's too loud. Welcome. What is this? That is, I ask myself that every time. Welcome to the Dr. Elliot Morgan stream. This is where we get centered. We look at today's news, current events. We'll bring in a little bit of psychology, maybe a touch of philosophy, and even occasionally a joke. Today it's been mostly about a bird that flew into my window. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and it's good to see you. And feel free to chat because I can see what you're saying. I don't know why that is a threat. All right. Let's see if you guys remember this one.
Whoa, that's a full rainbow. All the way. Double rainbow. Oh my god. It's a double rainbow all the way. Whoa, that's so intense. Whoa, man. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, oh my god! Woo! Oh my! Wow! Woo! Yeah! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my god! Look at that! It's starting to even look like a triple rainbow. Oh my god, it's full on double rainbow all the way across the sky. Oh my god.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Oh my god. Oh
I remember.
what does this mean? Oh.
When we went to, I think maybe the first VidCon in my first VidCon in 2012, I remember kind of freaking out when I saw, and everyone was freaking out when the double rainbow guy would walk by, and he would always just kind of be by himself, roaming around. And then the next year he was there roaming around, and then I believe the next year was there roaming around. Is he okay? Is he still around? When you say R.I.P., is that like a real thing? Hope he's okay, but you know. Sometimes you fly into a window, knocks you just unconscious, and then you're totally fine. But yeah, this that was, I think, when I first saw him, I was like, whoa, this is a weird experience.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh god. It's so bright. Oh my god, it's so bright and vivid. Oh. Oh. Ah! It's so beautiful.
What's the consensus? Is it drugs, you think? Yeah, none of my bird bones are broken. Also, in terms of the, I forget who it was, but the yeah, we still have the raccoons. They're all over, dude. They are like, we just rent the, like, this is their land, and I can hear them so closely at night that there is a kind of, so like at night, so this water bottle is like my water bottle. I don't know if you guys have a water bottle, but it can become attached to you, and I sometimes leave it in my little office shed. But then at night, I get a little scared to come out and get it because the raccoons are like everywhere. Let's do the Shmoyo one though. You're right. Love those guys.
Whoa,
Yeah, I do remember this now. You're right.
that's a full rainbow.
Do you think this is copyrighted? I almost did Chocolate Rain, but I thought that would be for sure copyrighted.
Double rainbow. Oh my god. Double rainbow. It's a double rainbow.
This sounds dangerous, right? Is this dangerous? What do you get? Is this?
All the way.
I don't want to get outlawed on my first day of being a Twitch affiliate here at youtube.com/ElliotMorgan.
Damn, it's a double rainbow all the way. Damn, oh my god. What does this mean? It's so bright, so vivid. Double rainbow, it's so intense, intense. What does this mean? It's starting to even look like a triple rainbow. That's a whole rainbow, man. Ah! Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
I'm too nervous. I'm just too nervous. Oh, really? YouTube is the one. I thought Twitch was way more copyright strict. Well, just in case, I will avoid it. How's everybody doing? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna dive into this. I have not watched the entirety of this. I watched just enough to be like, I think this will be interesting. And I can give you a little bit of backstory. Okay, Jesse found it. Thank you on the affiliation status. Pretty soon I'll be a partner, and then from there I believe they let me run the company. So literally 2 steps. My confusion was born of the fact you were on the podcast when yes, Steve calls you out for being on your so that explains why you don't remember it. Yeah, thank you. Can I click that? I can't click it, but I can. Well, when I click it, I can make it big, Jesse. So that's cool. But I can copy and paste it. Oh no. Oh, the timestamp. Great. Okay. Well, before we get into the debate, let's watch. Oh, dynamic banter. Yeah. Is this the one with the 8 years ago? Oh, this is just audio? Okay, cool. There's one where the Gatorade one. Do you remember that one? That became like a meme. And but that was because I had just gotten together with my wife, who was not my wife then.
I like build-ups. Bruce. Hello. My name is Bruce. I will be your waiter. Get it? Bruce? Like Bruce Wayne? Like Batman? I'm wearing a Batman costume. Well, not a costume.
I'm paying attention
but
there for
like the cape and the t-shirt.
Mike Falzone with one of the best.
This was the official introduction to a man with so little sense of humor it caused physical pain to those listening when he tried to tell a joke.
Nothing wrong.
It made people who really hate no one hate someone for the first time. This was Bruce.
What is this?
It was Saturday evening.
I think I'm doing what I did then 8 years ago. I think I'm not paying attention. It's the milking of the moment, I think, that
Elliot's checking his
Guys, I gotta go.
I feel like you would have gotten up and left already. I don't know what's keeping you here. It was a Saturday evening at San Diego Comic-Con. We were at a small bar / Mexican restaurant in the heart of the Gaslamp district with no air conditioning. I was seated in the corner of our table.
I'll take Harrison to Steve's Ringo.
Brett was to my left. Bree and Brett's wife Jamie were across from me, and most importantly, Steve was in the opposite corner across from me, next to Jamie. Steve was the closest to Bruce every time Bruce showed up. Steve had a big ass soggy quesadilla that looked like a pizza from my vantage point. I didn't learn it was a quesadilla until much later in the evening. I'm a very quiet and observant person. I like to sit back and try to find humor in things that otherwise might not be funny. Every once in a while, I'll come in with a joke and nail it. The point is, I could see the life exit Steve's body every time Bruce showed up. It's as if his soul emptied
I
and
do remember
slowly
this.
refilled throughout the night, only to be emptied fully again by Bruce. Bruce was a soul
Dr. Elliot and the
emptier.
Chatters. Welcome to Dr.
Bruce.
Elliot and the Chatters.
How's your meal going, sir? Can I manage to grab you some more water? I used my grappling hook, but I left it back at my bat cave. Bruce walked away. Steve sighed audibly.
Miss these guys. Wish them the best. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us. Okay. So, how's everyone doing? Are we ready to dive into... or do we want to watch more of that? How are we feeling? We can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. So what we're going to do is, we're going to watch a little bit of this debate. And this is where it goes back to, this is a debate between Jillian Michaels of The Biggest Loser, as well as Sam Cedar from Bob's Burgers. And two very popular shows, two very different genres. You think later in the day? I could do that. That's good to know. I was thinking timeline-wise. I'm not sure. We'll figure out the schedule. Yeah, later in the day might work. It depends a little on energy, but I did think when I first started this that maybe directly in the middle of the day when the least amount of people are available, and never doing it on the weekends was maybe not the best strategy for growth. But I'm cool like that, you know? I like to just go as slow as possible. But yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit later, maybe throw in some weekend stuff. That'll be a little bit more fun. Great note, but I don't know what, that will look like. We'll find out. I'm new, guys. I'm new to this. Literally never been on the internet. First time in front of a camera. First time on the internet. It's overwhelming. Did I tell you about the bird that hit the window this morning? Just to give you some idea. All right. On the left, we have Jillian Michaels. On the right, we have Sam Cedar. Thank you very much. I appreciate the encouragement. I will figure it out. And it is fun. I am enjoying it. If it seems like I'm not enjoying it, that's just because of my face. Right, so yesterday, if you were here, you saw us look at Jillian Michaels hold back her tears as Lou Elizondo, just nothing but a good boy patriot. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, can trust him. May do some remote viewing every once in a while. May or may not have a very shallow understanding of modern physics, but just enough to make a good podcast host. He told her about a human-alien hybrid program, and she was just having a hard time. She had quote-unquote ontological shock, according to the people who believed her, and some might call it a performance. Either way, I thought, let's do this, because this goes back to, I guess, Sam Cedar on Piers Morgan, Jillian Michaels on Piers Morgan, and Sam Cedar took an immense amount of issue with Jillian Michaels referring to people dying as a result of the cuts to USAID as a, quote, red herring, which is a different kind of bird than what flew into my window. That's beside the point. We're not going to go back to that, all right? Yeah, exactly. I'm just getting the feel as we dive into an incredibly dark issue. I don't know, though, if I have to run and get water at some point, but because that baby's looking a little low, okay? And I did trivia last night, and we got in third or fourth, maybe fifth place. Call ourselves the Pepto Quizmalls, in case you're wondering, because one time when we first started doing it, I had a tummy ache. And then my brother-in-law got us pink shirts that say Pepto Quizmalls that look like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. And both Grace and Mike remembered to wear theirs, and I forgot to wear mine. What kind of trivia was all over the place, dude, and quite infuriating. Like, it was a bar trivia thing, and it was all, the first 10 questions were horrible. King Trivia is the company. Please clap. And then, here's 9 questions. The 10th is what's the connection among all of them. The connection was that they were related, I think, to like the book Little Women or something. Trivia is infuriating for me on many levels, mostly because I don't know like random things. I know maybe a lot about a couple things. I know a lot about one thing. All right, let's dive in. So she said it was a red herring. She asked if anybody on the left would debate her. Sam Cedar said absolutely. Sam Cedar is potentially maybe known for being a little bit sarcastic, a little bit, he'll definitely say his opinions very loudly. Jillian Michaels, I feel like, sort of just was like almost slotted into the media ecosphere, and I bet you do rule at trivia, Jesse. She was kind of slotted in, and now they're going to go toe-to-toe, head-to-head in a battle. Now, when I opened this, looked at the comments, which we're definitely going to do, and the comments were, you're not going to believe it, this is Jillian's channel, very much on Jillian's side, and most of it was about how annoying Sam Cedar is, and how much he yells, and how rude he is, and how he's an idiot, and he should never be allowed back on. So apparently things get pretty heated here, but I think there's going to be some interesting stuff, and maybe she'll be moved to tears. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Asked for people.
Can you hear it?
With oppositional views or opposing views to come on and talk with me and talk with the audience. My audience actually has requested consistently to get a more diverse perspective, and I have said that it's not so easy because not a lot of people will show up for it, even when I'm totally neutral on the position.
Double.
So in the video I talked about...
I won't stand for it. I want nice, crisp audio. This is how we learn, and I believe what we're going to do is... No, that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to hear it if I do this, right? You can't hear it, right? Yeah. I'm a genius. Oh, I know what I can do. Go like this. Nope, that's not it.
Who's anti-vax and pro-vax.
Tell me what's better.
A host of different individuals. I've asked them to come on and been unsuccessful largely. I also did ask for when people, when they sling pejoratives and ad hominem attacks, to say it to my face.
I have to remember, okay.
And you were kind enough to step up for that. You are the first. So, SOT number 3, guys. I wanted to litigate some of this stuff first.
Oh, well, I should just say that was not what I was responding to was your...
Most importantly, to remember throughout this, they say SOT a lot, which is like an old term from like broadcasting. It means that there's like a video. In case you didn't know
that. Video where you said that nobody would show up. I was actually interested in revisiting our exchange on Piers Morgan from a year ago.
Promise you we will. That's why I'd like some of your time. Okay, SOT 3.
To that woman from The Biggest Loser, go F yourself. Go take your maha and shove it up your ass. Go F yourself. She now has a YouTube influencer channel.
Even bigger loser.
Everybody knows I like to keep it real. That's a perfect show for me to go on.
Is this a meeting of the gay straight
alliance?
Why would
no one like them?
Just kidding. They're both gay. They're both gay.
Snake oil. The snake oil salesman talking about politics.
Totally.
I'm sure she read that book
2 weeks ago.
Did it have pictures?
Here's someone who quit her show because of...
I want to make someone to make a montage of mean things that I've said one day.
Criticism of Israel was happening.
Talk to me about Islam. Tell me where we're getting it wrong.
Please come on my show and justify why Muslims aren't bad.
I wrote it 3 hours ago.
Nothing. Have we heard back anything?
Nothing yet.
Oh my God.
She's a fool.
Her role in media is to defend Israel. I think she's a TERF, right? So she doesn't like trans people and thinks it takes away from feminism, and then is also a Maha person.
They want to get rid of free lunches in schools.
Both here and in Africa, which I know I care about both. She cares about neither, but is pretending to care about the kids in America.
Emma terrifies me.
So first, let me address the fact that I'm sorry I did not get back to you within 3 hours.
You got great producers.
Well, you gave us a lot to work with, Sam. Having said that, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you within 3 hours. A man of your stature, I apologize. But your followers spammed the email I put out. Thought number 2.
Not sure how to reach you, but if you're so inclined, have someone from your office email our podcast line, and then she puts her email there. If you guys, want to send her an email, now you know what her address is. So go wild with that shit.
And they did. Graphic number 1.
Well, hold on for 1 second.
Yeah.
Those guys are on a completely different podcast.
I totally get it, but it seems like they're your followers, though. They like you quite a bit, along with, like, I didn't even know Hassan Piker calls you Uncle Sam.
They do a show about beefs, but I think
I guess so. Yeah. So then we get, so graphic number 1. So we did in fact get those emails, and it made it very difficult to find yours. LOLOLOL. I think they left off the last O. You're such a fake dipshit excuse of a human being. Yeah. I hope Cedar guts your duck ass. And how are you too poor to host this email address on your own website when you've been nothing but a grifter your entire professional career? I'll listen off air. Thanks. I don't really know what that part means.
Was that my dad?
It's one of your fans. Then there's, I heard the progressive host of the Majority Report, Sam Keeping It Real Cedar would be happy to debunk all of your nonsense. Die slow, bitch. So it does seem that the apple does not fall from the trees.
Wow. That's terrible.
Well, I'm not sure
I'm just saying.
You're joking. That's
thank you for being here. I think I would honestly say to you off the top, given all of that.
Are you gay?
Well, I don't know. How do you feel?
All right. It's going to be, that's got to be like a bit of a sound drop, right? Just gonna back that up because I don't think Sam knows that she is gay, so I think it's a sincere question.
Sam Keeping It Real Cedar would be happy to debunk all of your nonsense. Die slow, bitch. So it does seem that the apple does not fall from the trees.
I gotta figure out how to back up a video a little bit.
I'm just saying.
You're joking. That's
thank you for being here. I think I would honestly say to you off the top, given all of that.
Are you gay?
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about it? I've watched you make fun of gay people now, including Benny Johnson and Steven Crowder, which is weird because
Benny Johnson is not gay.
Benny Johnson was slamming trans
They're
people.
Going for it.
Is he not gay?
He's not gay.
He's not.
He's not. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's a little confusing.
But you've insulted him utilizing that context.
Oh,
which is
thank
so
you, Jesse.
Weird. Like, why
what do you
would
mean?
Left or right? That's how you do it.
You mean I can say he's
I'm a Twitch affiliate.
He's gay. But like.
I don't think I have
you did.
ever
I'll
said
clip
that
it.
he's
you
gay.
Did. You
since,
did. You did. I'll clip it, and you did it to Crowder as well. But that's.
I do think. Well, I think.
Are you familiar with? Are people familiar with who this
Benny
is?
Johnson is.
Like, are you guys familiar with the? Maybe the person on the left or the person on the right. Do we know what we're getting into right now? Browser needs to be focused for. Yeah. For Eric, who's to work with. Oh, okay. Yeah, it might probably just do the browser thing. That'd be my guess. Okay, great. And if you're Booger Guy, that's Booger Guy, right? Well, that's just Booger Guy for you. Welcome, Booger Guy. Booger Guy, do you usually introduce yourself by just saying Booger Guy? Because that's very funny. Biggest loser for the seat. Yep. Don't know much about him. Yeah, okay. Well, the one on the right is Sam Cedar, who I would say in agreement with on most things. Jillian Michaels, I'm not actually that familiar with her. I just see her on Piers Morgan a lot. And yeah, obviously Biggest Loser. And as they were saying, she's definitely, they got into a fight on Piers Morgan about USAID and the cuts that are going on there. And so they're going to hash it out, and it's going to be, a real treat because first of all, when it comes to debates, I don't think they work. And I don't think they change anybody's mind. And I think that, ironically, there's someone I'd like to have on this stream eventually. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome to the Dr. Elliot Morgan stream. My goal is to have a woman on who wrote a book called Don't Talk About Politics, just because I think it's funny to have someone to talk about not talking about politics. But also it's a good book, and she kind of lays out like why it doesn't really like work ever, and same with like protests and that kind of thing, but there's reasons you can do it anyway. For me, I find this just to be entertaining, so that's it. I'm not, you know what I mean. Your booger guy in real life. Hello, big fan of you and SourceWeb back in the day. Thank you so much, Amor. So crazy we have the same politics now this many years later. Love Sam Cedar. No idea who he's talking to though, but I recognize her. Yes, you do recognize her. She is famous for yelling at people struggling with their weight. And getting them to lose weight quickly. Did you guys watch the documentary on Biggest Loser? That was pretty wild. It's crazy looking back at like what that show was doing that I don't think could ever happen. Thank you for the kind words. And I know we do have fairly similar politics for sure. I don't know where I became radicalized. I think it was, I don't remember when, I don't remember when the brainwashing began. But if you guys haven't tried being brainwashed lately, you got to give it a go.
I mean, certainly not. I'm not the only person to
Summer of 2010,
bring
nice.
that up at all. A lot of right-wingers have been more explicit about it than I have.
Crowder.
Talking politics or protesting. So generally speaking, historically, if you look at protests and then you look at like what they're protesting and whether or not it goes into, it changes anything, it has a negligible effect. But what it does have an effect on is one's sense of community and feeling involved in politics, which can lead to good things. So it's not like anti-protest. It's more just like understanding what the data shows. And then same talking politics, like there's this idea that there's like a marketplace of ideas and that the best idea can win. But very often that's not the case, and it follows the same kind of market logic that like we see not work over and over again. Like the best product doesn't always become the most popular. It's been a second since I read it, but I do recommend it. It is and it's not like too in depth of a book. It's not too complicated, but it is. I think it dispels a lot of the myths when you're like, oh, I can just debate rationally and get someone to agree with me. And I think that's what Sam, and I think he enjoys doing it. Like there's clips of Michael Brooks making fun of him just because he loves doing this so much and debating. Thank you. I'm jazzed. I'm doing it too, booger guy. Yeah, it is. That's why I don't like have any desire to debate. If I did, I would not be asked back because I don't take them seriously.
Yes, I do think that Crowder is suppressing some things, and his ex-wife sort of like hinted around it. But I'm just asking because somebody wrote that to you in the thing, and I wasn't aware that you were gay. If you are,
I am. You are gay. You talked about it in the thing. You've talked about it numerous times, actually.
You're gay?
You've talked about it numerous times on your show, Sam.
I mean, honestly,
there are many things that you get wrong.
I was surprised there was that many clips that we talked about you over the past year. But I think, let me just say the first one, where I was telling you to F off.
We're going to get there.
Was a response. Well, I mean, you've done the montage.
I promise you, we are going to get there.
I should just say, within some proximity of that video, that specifically was when the first report of the tens of thousands, now hundreds of thousands of
I don't really have thoughts on Vosh. I think he's very I think he has a nice voice. This debate happened like 3 hours ago. Maybe 2 hours ago. Yeah, 2 hours ago is what the YouTube says. Yeah, I haven't watched enough Vosh. I don't, I kind of watch what I like, and then I haven't drifted into him so much. Who I really love is Destiny. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. No, yeah, Vosh, I've heard strange things about. But I don't know, and I don't care.
Children, but also adults
Yeah.
who have died as a result
That's
of
not
the cuts
true,
in
Sam.
USAID.
You want to talk about that study? We can start there. You're wrong.
Oh, I'm happy to start there.
All
but
right. So
we should play the clip of when you were on Piers
I
Morgan.
promise you we are going to. I
well, then
promise
let's
you.
do that.
I want to litigate some of the other stuff you said first, though, if it's
Well,
okay.
wait, is this really going to be just about like your feelings or her?
Can we, it is going to be about a lot of feelings. Can we horse girl, can I say the P word? I still don't know the rules. I don't know if this will be worse than his debate with Ethan Klein. I think this is better than his debate with Ethan Klein. And that I remember being in the airport and being like, oh, I need to watch this right now. Also, Steven Crowder, like once I was on his show, if we're doing confession time, I was like 2015 or something. And I had just done a comedy special, and there were some jokes I would not make today in it. And he said I needed to lean into the trans stuff if I wanted to, quote, become really successful. And I thought that was a very interesting and very telling. And he was also being very, very kind. He was very a gentleman about. I was only on like a radio version, I think, forever ago. We had like a same management company, and that always stuck with me. Of like when I see a lot of these folks doing constant like anti like trans stuff, it's like, oh yeah, like you know where the bag is. I'm gonna start doing it. Just no, I'm not.
Hurt?
No, it's proving a pattern that you either don't fact check your information.
Can we do the horse girl? Can we find a fact check on the horse girl?
You mischaracterize things. You lie by omission. And I can give you so many different examples. It's staggering.
Do it.
SOT 9, everybody.
Not. You've seen Iranian people in the
right?
streets here telling everybody, listen to what we are saying to you. Mamdani sounds like the Ayatollah.
Hey, speak of the devil.
Wait a second.
I will say it was a really like formative moment where it was like almost it wasn't, but it felt like, looking back, I can kind of view it as a fork in the road of like I could go down this, but I was like I don't want to, like I don't like and that was before I'd like formed fully my opinions on things.
Wait a second. There are
Not that I
Iranian
have
people
done
in
that
the
yet
U.S. in
Call
the
me an
streets of the
idiot for this
U.S.
one.
saying that Mamdani sounds like the Ayatollah.
I'm assuming in 1979, like they're saying, like.
For context, they do a regular serious 1 hour, and then the second hour is called the fun half, and they make fun of people a lot. So the fact that like when they do a hypercut, it seems especially like they're just mocking her. That's probably why. But yeah, I mean, they make fun of people.
Like leading up to the revolution?
I guess.
But no, the Ayatollah was in exile in Paris, I believe, when the revolution hit.
I mean, the people that have a lot of credibility right now is the conservative Iranian diaspora. Yeah, let's see what they have to say.
And I would like for some specifics about what Mamdani has said that makes him sound like the Ayatollah.
A lot of people picked
I have one
their
guess.
Mamdani 47 years ago in Iran, which was Khomeini at that time. If you watch if you just listen to what Mamdani said in New York, it's verbatim what Khomeini said 47 years ago in the Islamist lefty committee at that time. And people got fooled because it was at the end of 70s and they just wanted to
Let's
be
get to the debate, guys.
hippies and free, and that's how it looked like at that time for Iran. So they picked a Khomeini that was supposed to just come and help people have free everything and give the oil money to
How could you say no to free everything?
It's free and all of that. And you watch watch what he says and listen to Mamdani.
Find Iranian people on social media telling us over and over and over again that the way Mamdani speaks in New York City is exactly the way the Ayatollah was speaking in Iran, word for word, verbatim.
So this is the promises Khomeini made back in 1979, pre-1979. Look at this. He has promised free water, free electricity, and free buses. Now, does that sound familiar?
That's why you see the Persian.
A little bit of a stretch.
Especially the Persian Jews being so loud in America right now, because we lived this. It wasn't necessarily our parents or our grandparents or our great-grandparents with the Holocaust. This was us. Like, I lived that. My parents lived that. We escaped that.
So what is the red? Who's red and who's green?
So basically, it's the Islamists joining hands with the communists.
There are numerous clips like this, Sam, and it's okay if you don't agree. It's okay if you want to
attack. What was the name of that first woman on the street?
I don't know. An Iranian protester in the street. One of many. I can give you many different sites if you like. I can pull up different posts that have names on it.
What is the argument? That
here's the argument.
In offering free buses,
that's not the argument.
Is like the Ayatollah.
You're more than welcome, by the way, to have that argument with me.
Can you guys hear
let's not talk about let's have that argument. Well, explain to me
here's their argument.
What communist things that Mamdani has
graphic number 3, guys. These are the parallels.
No, wait. It's just
you. But you're asking the parallels. I'm telling you what they're citing.
What communist policies has Mamdani proposed?
This is what they are citing, Sam. What they are saying is that the parallels.
What Islamist policies? Answer
Sam, he's a Muslim, correct? Is he a Muslim? He is a Muslim, correct?
I mean, to me, you know, what else do you need?
And this is, you're saying, I'd like to know what they're comparing. I'm telling you, guys.
No, I'm asking you right now. What communists? Because let's argue the validity of these points.
I'm fine having you come on to talk about that, but what's not okay is you calling me an idiot saying it didn't happen.
No, I do.
It did happen. And all you have to do is Google it.
The judgment is still reserved. Yes, you can find a random person on the street.
Sam, I showed you numerous.
Name one difference between communism and democratic socialism.
Guys, graphic 2, graphic 4, graphic 3. Give me any one of these.
Here is but you're avoiding the actual
I'm not avoiding the question, Sam.
Yes.
If we were going.
There is no doubt the Iranian diaspora, they also told us that the Iranian government would fall. They also encouraged a war attacking Iran. Not all of the diaspora, but certainly large elements of it. So their credibility, let's talk about the actual issue that you're out there saying that
okay,
Mamdani
I'll give you an example of something that concerns
Mamdani
me.
Is a communist.
Here's something that concerns me.
Give me one
I'll
example.
Give you an example. Here's a perfect example, okay? There's a video, and I can drop it in, I can send it to you, of Mamdani at a mosque, seeming perfectly lovely, ringing in the new year at a mosque for the first time. He gets off stage, and they swiftly call for death to the infidels. That freaks me out, Sam.
We pray daily for your success in this journey, inshallah. Thank you.
والناصرين لك على أعدائك والمستشهدين بين يديك في جملة أوليائك والفرج فيه للمؤمنين على يديك وقتل الكافرين بسيفك.
Like, I'm sorry.
Who does?
Hello, welcome to Dr. Grace Halberg's husband.
He gets off stage, and the guy immediately says a prayer that calls for death to the infidels by the sword.
You're looking at a Twitch affiliate right now.
Sam.
Thank you very much.
It freaks
I got a doctorate a week and a half ago, now I'm a Twitch affiliate. What am I gonna?
Me out,
and so that's your evidence that Mamdani is an Islamist.
No, Sam.
This is like harking back to when Barack Obama was a member of the Weather Underground because of Bill Ayers, or because of
he's a Muslim,
his reverend.
Okay. He's sworn on the Quran. He's a self-proclaimed Muslim, which is totally fine. But he has some radical positions.
Are you aware of what's in the Old Testament, in the Torah?
Sam, I've actually had scholars on to compare both texts. And if we talk about a religious war and a jihad, it's confined in the Old Testament to the Canaanites. And that's because they were sacrificing babies. So it's not an ongoing holy war or jihad. And I'm not saying that that's what Mamdani is recommending.
Oh, you're not?
Sam, you blatantly got caught in a lie just now, and there are so many others.
Lie that I got caught?
Well, you claimed I was an idiot and it wasn't happening, but it is happening.
Well, I think we haven't resolved that.
All right. Well, how about this one?
She's pretty upset about the idiot thing. Also, I love the name Freezer Lasagna.
How about this one? There's so many of these, but buckle up. So, SOT number 5 is Anna Kasparian. We're going to pull that up in a second. And Amy Dangerfield.
Play when you stormed off your show with her?
Actually, I
am.
Because here's your claim, right? Your claim is that I get paid to defend Israel. I'm more than happy to give you the exact same offer that PBD gave Tucker. We can hire independent accountants. They can go through our finances. It's never happened. I have no problem doing that if you want to take me up on it at any point.
I don't know if we literally meant that you actually get paid from the Israeli government. But I think clearly, you have an audience where you need to suggest
how
that
many people have I had on from the other
a radical Islamist, and you're
really? Do you want to see
promoting the Israeli line dramatically, and that's your business.
I've had Dave Smith on twice. James Lee and I have spoken twice.
I don't know who that is, but that's great.
He's very pro-Palestine. We had a full episode with Crystal Ball coming out on her take. I'm the one who got Anna Kasparian that job on her take. And the issue was not about Israel versus Palestine. And in fact, I've had Cenk Uygur on to talk to me about it as well. And I can even drop a clip in here where we're on Peers and I'm saying, I've learned a lot from you on this subject matter. Having said that, the debate on her take was not me being uncomfortable debating, because there was no debate, because they both agreed with me.
Laterally across the board now, we've got multiple accusations that all pile up to the same exact.
Lovely jacket.
I think it's the furries. It's the furries. I think it's the furries.
I don't know, and I don't look.
There's
for those who are
zero
saying evidence to suggest none.
Okay, you're saying
guys, can we just stop for a second? This is ridiculous.
This is absurd.
Like, this whole thing is ridiculous. There are two things being conflated right now. There are conspiracy theorists who think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. They have yet to provide a shred of evidence proving that. Done. End of story.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, what was the furries thing?
I am talking about something entirely
talking
different.
about
no,
that.
we're not. Hold on. Let me finish my fucking thought. Okay? The real issue here is that before most people even knew that Charlie Kirk was dead,
honestly,
you have Netanyahu giving multiple interviews.
Here's the thing.
This is a huge waste of my time. I'm willing to talk to you about issues. If this is going to be about you crying because we have been mean to you, I'm very, very sorry. And I apologize, and I'll go. But
Sam,
if we're going to talk about issues, let's talk about it.
Constantly.
I don't care. I'm willing to stipulate.
All right, let's do another lie
I'm
that's
a bad
right
person.
here. Let's do this
I'm
one.
mean to you.
Let's do
and
this
all
one.
of that.
All right,
I've
let's do one in the wheelhouse.
Now let's talk about issues.
Shall we? Can we do the trans kids? Because you have a...
The woman on the left is Jillian Michaels, formerly of The Biggest Loser. And the Chad on the right is Sam Cedar from the Majority Report. It is the fitness lady. You are correct. And they got into a spat on Piers Morgan about a year ago. And now this happened a couple hours ago. They're going to talk about USAID at some point. But really, I just enjoy watching two people yell at each other because I have a very low bar for entertainment. So welcome to the Dr. Elliot Morgan stream.
Crazy lie about that one.
Let's start with what you suggested to my producer. What does Sam want to talk about? Let's talk about the only thing that I actually care about.
I went over all this with your producer.
All of your whining and crying about how
you want me to drop it in?
To you and how we called you a name,
Sam,
and this and that.
You're
I'm
a
very
liar.
sorry about that. I accept
I'm gonna bust you in
I'm
so
a
many
total
lies.
liar.
Okay.
There you go.
The one on the right is not a moron, no.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's talk about issues
SOT
like
number
grown-ups.
7. Let's do SOT number 7.
I'd also say that organic-y type of thing that she represents, it'd be catastrophic. There's an article in Foreign Policy Magazine 2022. In Sri Lanka, organic...
That is Matt Leck. He hosts Left Reckoning, also a good podcast.
Farming went catastrophically wrong. Nationwide experiment is abandoned after producing only misery. Basically, they tried to go pesticide-free, and it caused food shortages. So these people have no real solutions other than... They have a perverse incentive in that when people are sicker and aren't covered by public health, they turn to quacks like them.
Yep. Okay, so that's exactly what we're talking about. That was in relation to USAID. Did you read the article?
Did I read the article?
Mm-hmm. You said yup, so did you read it? because it doesn't support
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The clip
honestly,
just
Matt was
Did you
talking there.
read?
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
said yup. Are you not? Okay.
I said yup just
well,
now.
In the clip when you read it.
What?
This
I do
this ties
3
back
hours
to
a day. I don't know when that clip was from.
Well, don't you think
want
you
me to
should be
respond to
responsible
what
for the
Matt
things
thinks
on your?
I said yup.
Okay.
What is the? I don't even know what.
So
the,
this ties back
I'm
to
not listening
USAID.
to this.
This
You
ties
can play
back.
it. It's for show. I'm here to have an adult conversation.
I
You're
don't
not.
think you are.
You're just.
I think you're in
talking
a free
about
fall
how,
because I'm going to bust you in lie
aggrieved you are.
after lie
Listen.
after lie.
That's great.
So
you can.
in the article, what
Here is no. Let's start at the beginning. Shall we?
That there is like 2 different ways that they're coming at this. This is 2 people talking past each other. One is trying to talk about the quote unquote issues, and then the other method is to gather a bunch of inconsistencies that are more recent in order to delegitimize what Sam is saying. So I think it's like a strategy on both parts that, like, if you stick to the issues, you can just kind of be like, yeah, whatever, I said whatever, you can call me whatever. And then on the other end, it's like, well, I don't care what you say about the issues because I have all these receipts on when you said something that,
beginning. That's
we
USAID.
were on Piers Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
You said to me that when I brought up that there were going to be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people over the course of the next decade who are going to die because of cuts in USAID. Your words to me were, quote, and I'm sure you have it sought, whatever number it is.
I do.
Your words, that's a red herring.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said to me, read a book.
And if you had, I think you'd know what I was talking about.
You remember what book it was?
Save 3 Lives by Rodale.
Yes. I did read that book.
Did you? Then you should
I
get
bought
it.
that book.
Okay.
I have it right here. It was an okay book.
But it should explain
there was a lot of stuff
to
in
you
there which I
how
agreed with.
ongoing
Do you know
food
when
is-
that
I
book
would
was
think
written?
you would, Sam.
You know
this
when that book
actually-
was written?
Not
she's going to do the condescending thing, but it's also going to be the feigned exasperation stuff, which I love. I love when people like that kind of thing. I'm going to inject that into my veins when we get to it. But I am interested in this conversation because I am interested in the cuts that were made to USAID.
Not only do I know when it's written, it actually started in the 50s.
1991.
Sam, can I explain it to
And
you?
that was 35 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I read the book. It mentions USAID once on page 65, where Rodale actually speaks sort of positively of the USAID representative at a conference who was discussing the
what does
the
food aid
troubles
run
with
through?
getting,
What does
with
the food
getting,
aid run through, Sam?
the supplies needed to grow food in Africa was actually more expensive than the actual food.
Big
in of
news,
itself.
getting a smoothie.
Yes.
And so
you got
now,
it.
Everything that
Exactly.
was in this book and everything that you complained about, saying that USAID was just a front for corporations to go in and destroy the food supply in these countries by forcing and much of what has been written here, I've interviewed countless peoples on this topic.
Smoothie alert. Wife's making me a smoothie. I asked for only a small one, half a one, to leave it in the fridge. So in just a second, I'm going to go in and get one. I'm going to come back with a smoothie, but don't you go anywhere. There's plenty more when we come back. I'm not going anywhere yet.
Topic later than 1991, where this dynamic continued.
It got worse.
All of those operations that you supposedly had a problem with USAID have been moved over to the USDA.
I'm well
All
aware.
of that stuff is still happening. But
Yes,
what is not
I
happening
know.
is
That's my
people
point.
Are not getting. People are not getting. They're not getting like
wife didn't.
TB fighting drugs.
Yes, they
They're
are,
not
Sam.
getting.
That waiver.
My wife didn't know I was streaming. She didn't know. She didn't know. But when I go in there, she's going to be like, how's it going? And I'm going to be like, it's going incredibly.
Was on the 28th of January.
That's PEPFAR.
There was a
that
blanket.
Was the PEPFAR waiver.
PEPFAR
and
was
that waiver.
and
I
then
will tell you right now,
2.3
I
and
have
then
an article
2.4
right here in my hand that talks about the fact is that even after the waiver was issued,
it took a few
weeks. Screwed up the supply side, the logistics stuff, that they still having problems. PBS just wrote a piece on this, actually, maybe it was in March, about how they are actually seeing deaths, extensive deaths in
what? No, it's for a smooth. I'm elite ruling. No, I'm not elite ruling class. I just like living in a lap of luxury, but it's not like a smoothie from a place. It's all fresh ingredients that are being blended together. That doesn't help my case at all. That makes it even morally. I mean, now I guess you don't have the fees. Of course, with the fees, you would at least be like, potentially helping, someone who has to, is doing the gig of the thing, but then at the same time it's like waste overall because you're still just going more so to benefit the actual corporations that they're working for. So I guess I'm some sort of a hypocrite or a liar.
As a function of
send it to me because I did a ton of homework on this.
Uganda, April 22nd, sees spike in disease-related deaths after elimination of USAID from PBS.
That's been moved over to the State Department, though, Sam.
I become a
it isn't eliminated. It changed departments.
It specifically talks about
I have a crazy
the abrupt grinding to a halt by USAID for both HIV and HIV-associated illnesses like TB,
on the 4th of
meningitis.
February.
Close to 15% of the clients dying of malaria and TB. This is because of a function of USAID.
Anything? Okay, first of all of that was done on 128, a blanket waiver for life-saving aid.
It shut everything down. I'm sorry.
On 128, it was a blanket waiver was given. Okay.
That this was.
There's a book that came out by a whistleblower for USAID, and I haven't finished it, but it's pretty fascinating. He worked for him for like 10 years, and he describes the process of them coming through and like all these like 20-year-olds, and then they, kind of basically said they weren't shutting down the aid to like tuberculosis and malaria, but then evidently did. And then I guess Julian Michaels is saying, well, there was a blanket waiver. So if there's a blanket waiver, but then there's no like infrastructure in order to actually get the aid over there, I don't know how that works. I don't understand how it works,
Will produce 14 million additional deaths by 2030.
Let's go through that. Can we do that? Can I address your two studies?
Sure.
Okay. So number one.
Well, that's
you've
not
got
a study.
two.
This one's not a study.
They're modeling.
This one is direct reporting. No. By PBS on the ground in Uganda.
That 14 million people have died?
That 14? No. That people were dying in Uganda because of the destruction of USAID.
Okay, so some people died.
Sam, send it to me.
I mean,
because
take it up with PBS.
So I did take it up with PBS, and here's what I learned. Since the 2025 dissolution of USAID, the U.S. shifted global health operations to the State Department under the America First Global Health Strategy. The new model still funds the actual medicines, the HIV drugs, the TB meds, the malaria treatments, but we did stop paying directly for some of the operational infrastructure, like mobile clinics, fuel, local delivery networks, and that's the core criticism. The medicine still exists, but the, quote, last mile delivery system broke down, rendering some patients in remote villages unable to access care. But here's the catch. When Uganda signed a 5-year memorandum of understanding with the U.S., they got up to $1.7 billion in direct U.S. funding, strictly earmarked to guarantee 100% of physical drug commodity costs and to build high-level digital disease surveillance systems. They got an additional $800 million in direct U.S. support, which also flows into the country through global platforms like Gavi and the Global Fund, bringing the total macro valuation of U.S. commitment to roughly $2.5 billion through 2030. Now, in exchange for this money, the government of Uganda formally assumed full legal and operational responsibility for the last mile delivery framework. Uganda legally agreed to fund local clinic operations, absorb distribution logistics, and permanently transition thousands of previously U.S.-funded frontline healthcare workers and nurses onto its own national public payroll system.
I don't know that there's anything bad about recording a debate and then uploading it to your own channel with inserts that you've done to strengthen your position. But it doesn't seem like that would be, you know, best practices, right? Like you would want to not need to do that, but it's fine, I guess. I just think it's kind of like, I don't know that it speaks to like a lot of confidence that you're going through and being like, okay, but hey, I think it's great that it's also providing information. I whatever.
Now, on the death toll, they give no numbers and no percentage of increase offered for the, quote, spike in deaths. But my honest assessment is that one would assume if people can't access care, there's credible reason to believe there were preventable deaths. But with Uganda now responsible for its own system and multiple global donors having backed out, it's difficult to say who truly bears responsibility for them. So in summation, the United States government, under the America First Health strategy, ended its long-standing partnership with NGOs for health service delivery, reverting instead to direct engagement with the government of Uganda. The U.S. cited persistent concerns that the NGO-led delivery model fostered abuse of American funds, including theft, waste.
Here's the thing. I think most people are stupid when it comes to economic stuff like this. I certainly wouldn't consider myself an expert, which is why I look to experts. And that's why I love Jillian Michaels.
Wastage and limited accountability.
How often have you felt like your skincare routine isn't doing much?
Absolutely not.
Too many products, not enough real results, /keeping it real. That's 15% off oneskin.co with the code
The first
keeping it real.
peptide.
And after you purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that I sent you. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with your first study. Okay. So you claim
Thank you for appreciating my input.
numerous times that 600,000 people have died.
Thank you.
All right. So first of all, that's a model. It's not. Here's what it is not. Are you ready? A death registry, confirmed bodies, forensic evidence, a WHO mortality census. None of the above. The author
what study
of
do you have that
this
suggests
is
the
yours,
opposite?
Sam.
No, I'm asking you what counter evidence you have. That's correct.
Her response was like he was coming after her, but it wasn't. He was, I think, just getting clarity.
Modeling happens all.
Jillian Michaels became a political commentator in the past few years, I want to say. Has done quite a bit on like Piers Morgan, and she really it's apparently part of like the Maha thing, I guess. And it's a classic, you know. Yeah, I'm well on my way to being just like Jillian Michaels.
All the
Sam,
time
okay,
in public
Sam,
health.
there isn't
All the
any.
time.
In fact, there's none. And here's the reason. Because it is impossible to identify exact numbers. The author herself says they're modeling numbers, and I recognize the limitation. And then I'm going to show you the limitations with.
There is good money in grifting, which is why I want to tell you guys about this new peptide that is literally the first peptide that's ever been engineered to reverse aging. It is all natural. It is made and it is you can click the link in the description to find get one for yourself.
The study that you never cite.
Get a peptide for yourself
Sam,
a little bit.
they're modeling numbers. I
How
recognize
many are you okay with?
none,
It's
which
not
is
the
why I
exact
want to get
number.
into Sam.
Mhm.
They're modeling
Sam.
numbers, and I recognize the limitations that this comes with. We don't have routine data sets that we can measure such as those killed by lack of U.S. funding. Having said that, okay, what she doesn't take into account for in her modeling, she doesn't take into account any of the waivers. There was a blanket waiver for life-saving aid given 8 days after Trump's executive order.
I just read to you a piece from PBS that said that waiver was irrelevant in terms of actually getting the aid to people because of all the other mechanisms that were destroyed. The waiver was okay.
Sam, send
but
it
if
to
me.
me.
Cut
Send
away
it to
the
me, and I'll have the
infrastructure,
team fact check
if
it
you-
right now.
Just have them Google
Sam,
Uganda
I've
sees spike in disease-related deaths
Guys,
after
check that for me.
elimination of USAID.
Check that how
See, that seems like an important point. I think it's the increase in deaths. Once again, unbearable news digestion seems to be a flaw of most of the American public, and this sort of content needs to be seen by more eyes because I feel most don't even know the capacity to form their own opinions. No, they don't. And if you want to have a really good time with humanity, read the comments on this. They are quite upset, and there's a lot of all caps and a lot of folks that are not interested I think, and even following what they're talking about, it's just sort of this, I don't care about people in Uganda, I care about American citizens. And like that kind of thing where you're like, okay, fair enough, but like it doesn't negate the point. And also those lives in Uganda or wherever, their continued living was not having any substantial effect on any Americans' lives. Hence the not reducing the deficit in any way with the cuts that Doge made.
Many deaths. I did find some through Washington Post. I found a handful. Hardly 600 to 750,000. I found a handful. And
a handful? How many is a handful? Kids dying?
Honestly, I found about 8 cases that are documented.
Okay.
And the issue also has to do with war. It's very, very difficult to lock it down. Having said that, you're throwing out numbers that are not true. So
these
first
are models by the Lancet. I said this is the Lancet study.
Okay,
there are models
Sam,
that are being done.
You neglected
they
to
know how many people
mention
get.
the problem with this model. The author of the study has significant conflicts of interest because she gets grants from USAID. All right, there's flawed math because she's saying that every dollar spent equates to an amount of people saved. That's not true at all. She's got opaque, not rigorous layered modeling. She layers 6 different historical studies on top of each other and mashes them together. She ignored pre-existing duplication, which I'm going to give you an example of with the NIH, the USAID, the Eco Health Alliance is a perfect example, which I'm going to give you. USDA, local governments, private philanthropies, she just forgets completely exist. She ignored reassignments because PEPFAR, as you know, went to the State Department, USDA got food.
Yeah, the debating with my brother, and he lost me, so we're just supposed to care about everybody. Like, yes, you good. Yeah, it is difficult to care about folks that like you can't see, and like I think that's one of the reasons that COVID broke everybody's brains, because like if you didn't see someone suffer from COVID yourself, then all of like the quote unquote deaths just they don't hit emotionally. That's because we're imagistic creatures. We function according to images. And if you can't see a little virus, you can't see the people dying as a result of it, it's very difficult to be able to relate or mirror or anything like that. So, yeah, I know but you should still care. And you can also, like, I think there's a difference between feeling like emotionally distraught over like the whales are dying or whatever. Like, I don't know that you need to have that to have a political foundation that allows for those things to be taken care of. Like, I think there's a confusion with people think it has to come from this like empathetic emotional thing. You can just go death bad, and so I'm going to construct a political worldview that treats that as a fundamental part of it. But then it gets all in this like, oh, I'm supposed to. You don't have to care, but we can all agree that, generally speaking, death bad, not death better.
These things were reassigned. There is no.
Yeah, 120 people, something like that. And then it's the concentric thing. You care about like your friends or your family and your friends and your neighbors, and maybe your community a little. But I don't think you can completely. I think anybody who pretends that they have empathy for people across the world that they don't even know really exists are lying. That doesn't invalidate the fact that this money was going to help them, and that is okay.
Not all reassigned. And secondly,
they weren't.
It's one thing to get a waiver, but if you have undermined the entire logistical side, if all the contracts are canceled, if all let's go to
USDA, because I think you'll like this one. Let's go to that one. So you read the book and I think you get it. You referenced that it's from 1991. It actually started in the 50s.
I'm gonna go get a smoothie.
And it was started by Eisenhower, and it was public law, I think 480. BRB. Then Kennedy turned it into Food for Peace when he created USAID. Trump grabbed this. You'll like this. This is anti-Trump.
What do I do?
He grabbed this on the 3rd of February of 2025,
browser
right? And he moved it all under USDA, and then he called it America First Food Aid. And what he did was he made sure, it's called Tide Aid, which exists.
Bleeding heart leftists are part. Yeah, liberals would be probably more what you're thinking. The difference, as I understand it, between liberals and leftists is that liberals and they both believe in the validity of free markets, liberals and conservatives, whereas leftists generally don't and seek to create a new system. Liberalism is a vague word. Some believe it happened around the end of the French Revolution, and then John Locke, I think, played a big role in it. But yeah, it's the idea of autonomy, personal liberty, constitutional law, free markets, that kind of thing. It's the free markets part that leftists are a little more skeptical toward. That's my understanding.
This did, but it got expanded over the years. So you referenced 1991. It got worse over the years. So tied aid essentially means that all aid has to come from our big ag companies and go through our shippers. We lose 30 cents on every dollar as American taxpayers because of this. Now, what it does in the developing world is horrible, but there's no universe. And this is what I mean when I tell you it's a red herring. There's no universe they're giving up those contracts. It's billions of dollars to big ag, billions of dollars. It moved over in less than 2 weeks to USDA. And the reason I'm telling you it's a red herring is because it's covering up for so much filthy, dirty stuff that has gone on.
You're saying that the any of the life-saving stuff that USAID did, is it your contention that USAID never saved a life?
No,
never provided
absolutely
malaria stuff.
Nope.
Okay, what is your contention?
Okay, I'll give you an example. All right, can I give you an example?
When I mentioned kids,
can I give you?
You said that's a red herring.
Yes, it's a red herring because we're still feeding them, Sam.
To you that
it's a red herring because we're still feeding them. They're distracting you.
On the contrary, the idea of the corporations that is a red herring because if Donald Trump wanted to go in there and reform that big ag is getting all the contracts and creating monocultures and growing crops that are not appropriate for those countries, et cetera, et cetera. This is all just sort of like imperialism and
it's neocolonialism. Yes. It's right up your alley, which is why I don't see why you don't.
But if Donald Trump wanted to fix that,
no,
he could have easily fixed that.
Didn't want to fix that.
That's correct. All that ended up happening is all of those bad things continue.
Yes.
The only thing that is no longer
I'm saying that's my point. None of that is changing. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Anti-TB stuff. No, well, let's play the clip and let people decide if that's what you were trying to communicate.
No problem. Guys, it's shot number 8.
Jillian.
The feeding starving children thing is such a freaking red herring. So first of all, the vast majority of this USAID bloat and corruption does not go to that. Second of all, we have children starving here in America. But third of all, and what you don't know and what you have not looked into, okay, is that read a book. It's called Save 3 Lives. And it's by the Rodale family. And it has to do with the fact that our big ag companies went into the developed world to addict their soil to our GMO crops. It's a money laundering game. They can grow their crops in their soil far more efficiently and did for thousands of years before ConAgra and Cargill and Monsanto and ADM went in. You just don't know that because you haven't done your homework. So you're like, oh, there's children starving in Africa. When really, it is about billions of dollars going to big ag. That's what that's really about. And I've seen it firsthand when I went to South Sudan and stayed at a refugee camp. So don't play your starving children card. I can't.
So I'm telling you that bloat and corruption.
What happened? Oh, can you hear me? All right. Did anything happen? Did I miss anything? Hey, have I told you guys about Trade, a new peptide that as clinically, scientifically been found to reduce your
is not about the USAID program, but if you're truly
I forgot the straw, but it's best that I don't use it because I forget to clean them apparently, and that causes a lot of problems.
Concerned about it, it's way worse than not sending Puffy Nutty or whatever the paste is. It is because
the budget, the spending by sector from 2024 You said the majority of this stuff.
Bloat and corruption, I said. The majority of the bloat
maternal
and corruption.
Child health, basic
right.
education, good governance, disaster readiness.
Sam, that's not what I said. I said the majority of bloat and corruption is not going to that. Can I give you an example?
So the majority of stuff that's not going to them is not going to them. But is your suggestion?
Can I give you an example?
The majority. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
I'm going to try to tell you.
Are you saying that the majority of the USAID budget was just bloat and corruption?
The bloat and corruption that Elon Musk is referencing. He was very clear, by the way, that he didn't want to cut food aid.
Wait, are you going to try and argue to me that Doge was somehow successful? It's universally considered an absolute failure.
Well, let's talk.
We didn't save any money. The budget.
We did save money, not nearly as much. You're absolutely right.
We didn't save a dime.
Can we get
not
into
a dime? The way they went about this was just the most ham-fisted way. They used AI just to look at contracts and willy-nilly. We just had a judge ruling the other day. Half the stuff is being reversed to the extent that it can be because it was done so poorly.
Why don't we talk about what he was talking about? You see if you don't agree with it, okay? So can I point out something I think that you got wrong? I'll give you an example of what we're talking about.
She's got some papers. Yeah, peptides will help you look max. And they will help you doctorate max. I did do quite a bit of my doctorate with a faint hint of peanut butter slime the whole time.
The COVID pandemic, I think we all know that infectious diseases abroad do not necessarily stay overseas, and we prevented, we helped countries prevent and detect infectious diseases before they could come to our borders. And we built partnerships that, helped the United States and built goodwill and on the foundation of American generosity over the course of about 6 decades that created an international framework that supported the United States' success over that time.
I mean, it was created under the Kennedy administration, along with things like the Peace Corps. This was a way to project, or in many respects, like American influence, if not power, soft power, and to do so by making friends. I mean, like we essentially to help people, and it was. I mean, aside from, like you say, a lot of this had implications for American health too, because particularly, less so maybe in 1960, but certainly by the time you get to 2020, we saw quite quickly how something that starts all the way around the world.
Are we having fun? Is this fun?
Can impact this country.
Okay, can I give you some examples about where that's flawed?
I'm enjoying it.
All right. So,
Which part? What I said, or the guy who worked at USAID for 10 years?
But Sam, both.
Which?
Both,
okay, both of us
both,
were flawed. Okay.
Both. All right. So USAID gave EcoHealth Alliance,
Sam's upset,
which is the organization that funded the Wuhan lab. Okay, they gave them millions of dollars. Part of it,
USAID
quite literally, went
COVID.
to bat-borne coronavirus research, 1.1 million. They've given them tens of millions. Simultaneously, these guys are taking money from the NIH for the same thing. They're double billing both agencies. That's bloat, that's corruption. Not only that, okay, just to show you, I'm trying to
Is it inherently corruption?
show you that there is bloat and there is corruption, and this is the kind of stuff that people are upset about. So now, if you look at, right, how corrupt these people are.
Yeah, it's funding,
we have
like a different source of funding.
Is
USAID funded them tens of millions of dollars. Sam,
to study
what
pathogens?
Sam,
when you say tens of millions of dollars, I think maybe it's important to remember that's like a drop in the bucket, right?
Point that Elon Musk was trying to make, and he said so numerous times. He did not say, I want to cut food, I want to cut life-saving aid. He said the opposite.
Oh, your YouTube chat's 2
so
minutes
you said it was a joke. You laughed at it. You literally said it's a red herring and it's a joke.
It is a red herring.
Okay,
kids dying card.
Sam, what I was saying very clear.
If you're so worried about bloat and corruption, do you understand that
you don't want to see this, do you?
Donald Trump right now has been selling pardons. He is literally about to get a $1.7 billion slush fund.
Agree with you.
By suing the government.
Hate it.
And his
100%
former
agree with
defense
you.
attorney, who's the head of the DOJ. And you're talking about like.
Well, you wanted to debate this though, didn't you? Isn't this what you wanted to debate?
It's a red herring. No, I just don't think this is all disingenuous.
Really?
And the idea of like that somehow that the USAID was targeted to deal with a lab in Wuhan is absurd.
Sam, it's not absurd. It's absolutely
and
true.
All of the resources that were cut in the first Trump administration from pandemic, a whole pandemic alarm system with people who were stationed in Wuhan from the United States, with a cabinet level secretary who was in charge of keeping the country aware of pathogens that were coming.
Maybe one day I'll get monetized on. I'll become a YouTube partner
and bloat until we end up having to shut down.
Have you actually listened to anything else I've said about this? Because I could actually.
I've listened to everything you've said.
Okay, so then you would know that I said
you were crying about what we had said about you on the show.
Sam, if you'd actually done that, you'd know that I said that this should be like removing a brain tumor. In other words, if USAID is the brain, you need to be slow and strategic about removing.
I think that's exactly what I was saying on the with Piers Morgan. Okay. And your response was, that's a red herring. Yeah. Don't throw that around.
I mean, the reason it is a red herring is because they are using you. And when I say they, I'm talking about Big Ag. I'm talking about places like EcoHealth Alliance.
You're literally
to distract
talking
from,
about
Sam, the definition of
$4 billion
Sam,
annually.
I'm talking
the percentage of what you're talking about. Donald Trump has made more money in the past 15 months.
Sam, that's a separate conversation. Stay on point. You wanted to talk about this.
This is all part of one conversation.
I don't know if he's made that much, but I think last I heard was like 1.4 billion or something, but that was months ago. So
okay, because when you decide to prioritize shifting big ags.
It's the point too, because if the basis of the argument is that there is waste and bloat happening, that's why it is valid, I think, to bring in other areas of much larger waste and bloating and fraud. And I think that there's like a thing going on where Jillian's like, well, we're talking about this specifically, but if the way you're talking about it is about the bloat, then you're opening yourself up to the idea that this bloat is itself significant. Like, that's the implication. That's my understanding. Yeah, right? New chat.
Neocolonialism.
I think
to
that's
the
terrible.
And thank you to Jesse.
I think it's terrible.
From USAID to USDA
for no
at
reason.
the expense of providing things like malaria care.
They did provide malaria
maternal
care,
and child health care.
They did.
They call it malaria care.
Good governance. Oh, I'm looking at the cuts.
Sam,
I'm
on
looking at the cuts
2-4
right here.
So tell me, here's my question.
I will tell you the
then
percentages.
what was the
in which they were
blanket
cut.
waiver on 2-4 that specifically is for
you can
child
say the blanket
mortality
waiver
and
over and over
maternal
again.
care?
I will give you the actual dollar amounts that were cut from each of these programs. From malaria, 25% cut.
But Sam,
from basic education, 35% cut. From disaster readiness, 24% cut. From
the argument I'm assuming that she's going to make is that, well, that money, thank you, everyone say thank you, Jesse. That money never actually goes to help people, I think, is the argument that it'll be.
Pandemic, influenza, and other emerging threats, 33% cut. I mean, I could just keep going on and on and on.
Can I address that? Can I address that? They are cutting bureaucracy, corruption, fraud, and duplication. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. That's why I'm trying to show you, just with one example on COVID.
Have you not heard how the guys from Doge did this? They used AI and they just used keywords to cut all these contracts. They're not cutting any bloat or waste or whatever you're talking about. It's absurd. There's not a single piece of evidence that there was any bloat or corruption or whatever it is you're talking about.
I just gave you a ton of evidence.
No,
okay, Brent, can I give you more? Can I give you more?
Listen,
can I give you more?
I agree with you.
Cool it with the tech talk, nerds, okay? We're talking federal budget cuts.
That we should not allow big corporations to do this.
Do you want to talk about Afghanistan? Do you want to talk about Haiti?
Listen, I have talked about both those places significantly, but Doge did nothing to address those issues whatsoever. They have flourished under this administration.
Sam,
they did nothing.
I don't disagree with you about that. If you want to say they flourished under this administration, then what I would say to you is maybe this is an area where you and I could find some common ground, because I still stand for what I stand for. But when people are hoping that that stuff dies, there are reasons that they hope it dies. That's what I'm trying to show you. There are, for example...
That's not true. That's not true, Jesse. When I read stuff, it's cool and fun and interesting. It's not tokens.
That the reasons why Doge did this was because they were concerned about neo-colonialism?
Cool and sexy.
No, that's why I told you that's a red herring. That's
Wait,
not what it was.
Neo-colonialism is a red herring?
No,
or
Sam.
the children dying is a red herring?
No, Sam. What I was telling you is they weren't cutting that ever. It was just moving over to the USDA.
No,
that's what I was trying.
No,
that is not what. Let's watch that clip again, because you specifically said the children dying is a red herring, not...
I said in the very beginning, and we can play it again. I said...
I mean, I think Sam's being a little bit pedantic. Is that the word?
The corruption and the bloat is not going towards the food, meaning that is not what he is talking about. I can play it again.
Let's cut to it.
I'm just simply looking at all the cuts across the board here.
The cuts, $1 cut of duplication, of bloat, of bureaucracy, of corruption does not equate to aid.
Show me the place sought whatever number.
Doesn't that work both ways? If it doesn't equate to aid, and then it doesn't also help reduce the budget, then does that not? Like, if they didn't reduce the budget or the deficit, excuse me,
where you have the proof that this is bloat and corruption.
Okay, can I give you examples?
I think that Sam is absolutely getting something out of this, because I think he enjoys this. It's sort of, I think, like watching a athlete do a sport that they just love doing. I don't have that kind of pedigree, but pedigree.
Examples. I don't have
cool words. We use cool words here.
With COVID, I can put the articles up. So that's
with bloat and corruption.
So I hope they say bloat more.
When EcoHealth Alliance is given tens of millions of dollars from USAID, and they're double billing two different government agencies for the same thing, do you think that's bloat and corruption? And
Eco Alliance had this contract in 2024.
Okay, let me give you the exact.
Or that contract had ended before that?
They got the contract.
Video came out 3 hours ago now.
So they got it before that, obviously. I can get you the exact date if you want. So USAID's predicted program. All right, team, can you get me the exact year that USAID
thank you for the gifted sub, anonymous
$1.1 million
gifter.
to EcoHealth Alliance, specifically for
enjoy that, booger guy, and thank you as well.
1.1 million.
They also got
the bot.
They got $83 million in total.
Thank you.
Okay, this is just to identify
from USAID.
The connection. Yes.
You got 83 million from
I feel like a
USAID.
real Twitcher.
Yes, Sam. Okay, ready? In October, I got it. Okay, so we have, hold on. So in October of 2021, USAID awarded $4.67 million grant with total funding obligations that reached 13.1. So some of this has to do with farming in Liberia. Okay, EcoHealth also operated as a subrecipient on other multi-million-dollar USAID projects, including, here we go, One Health Workforce Grant and the READY Initiative. Total $85 million just for those programs. The READY Initiative was $8 million. The Liberia money was $13.1 million. And simultaneously, these guys are billing the NIH, and they're double billing. That's what I'm trying to show you. Not only are they double billing, if I could just show you this is not a gotcha. Graphic number 6.
No, it's not.
This is a son of a bitch from EcoHealth Alliance. Okay, so, ready? This is David Morenz from the NIH. They got him more money after they were trying to hide the FOIA requests, hide the emails, and from the FOIA requests that were coming in, to show that there was a connection with the coronavirus and the NIH funding and the USAID funding. Now we know. Ahem. This is David Morenz, okay? This is Fauci's guy. Do I get a kickback?
I'm getting
Too much fucking money. Do you deserve it all? Let's discuss. And then Peter Daszak goes, thanks for your kind words. Of course there's a kickback. So do you not think that's shitty? That's gross?
I think that that Doge, that Donald Trump, that Russell Vogt, that Elon Musk had the ability to cancel that contract. Instead, what they did is They
did cancel it.
$5 billion from protection assistance and solutions. They cut $2 billion from HIV/AIDS. They cut $672 million.
Those are bigger numbers.
Or I should say $300 million from malaria. They cut $200 million from basic education. They cut.
Yeah, but what about the 13 million and the 10 million that she was talking about? You ever think about that, Sam?
$200 million, approximately, it's a little bit more, from maternal and child health.
Sam,
they cut money from good governments. They cut money from disaster readiness, private sector competitiveness, family planning and reproductive health. I could go on and on. Pandemic, influenza, and other emerging threats.
So if they're cutting, corrupt organizations like EcoHealth,
the Alliance, did they do all of those?
Can I give you a bunch of other examples then? Speaking of,
sure.
Right? Okay, so why don't we look at things like, how about Afghanistan? That was botched. Yeah? Are we on the same? Do you think that was botched?
Yes, I don't think we should have been there for 20 years.
That's totally
and George
fine.
W. Bush should have
US
gotten
aid that
Osama
went
bin Laden
into
at Tora
rebuilding
Bora
it was a
in
disaster,
2004.
and it's trillions of dollars. So
I was very much against our occupation of Afghanistan. And in fact, I thought that our invasion of them, we should have just used, it should have been just a police action to get Osama bin Laden.
Shouldn't Sam be like, we're talking about this though?
That's totally fine. Separate issue though. We're talking about bloat and corruption. All right. So you have $2 trillion went into rebuilding the country for 20 years. So you have Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, and they found trillions of money wasted. Projects were abandoned. Infrastructure was unusable. There was corruption, vulnerabilities, obviously, from the government. Ghost employees, like police officers that didn't exist. Massive inability to verify spending. Facilities that were built that collapsed into the ground, that were never used. Schools and clinics that existed only on paper. Same thing with Haiti, and the list goes on and on. So the point is that you can say, oh, they cut these trillions of dollars that were going to schools that never existed.
We were out of Afghanistan when
we're still giving money to the Taliban.
When Elon Musk implemented Doge. I don't understand. Well, you're just bringing up examples that corruption and bloat exists in certain areas, and therefore it justified cutting off the aid that
I'm telling you that
for USAID. Again, you think there's only 8 people who have suffered because of the end of these USAID
It's very difficult to get a quantifiable number.
Maybe not.
What's your estimate?
Honestly, considering
a dozen.
If we're looking at this honestly, given the fact that you have other governments giving, that never was interrupted.
They have cut back as well, actually, in the wake of our cutting back on USAID, because a lot of these programs had to get
cut back
torn
on January
down.
20th of 2025 or later down the road?
No.
Okay, no. All right, so no. So they were giving at the time. So you have a 3-week interruption for some of this stuff. Some of it 1 week, some of it 2 weeks, some of it several weeks.
Where are you going with
But you have blanket waivers where this was, as you very appropriately show me.
This is from somebody who worked in Uganda. The numbers began to trend downward closer to 10% in terms of deaths after an exemption was issued for certain life-sustaining programs. It's still high, but it's lower than during that time. So it did drop after the exemption.
I searched and searched. I could not find one quantifiable number. I did find a really good piece in the Washington Post that listed specific cases. And one guy who went to South Sudan, I found that. But
and
I searched.
There's a guy here in Uganda.
Sam, okay. And you know what they all say? Well, it's hard to know because there's also starvation and there's also war and there's conflating factors. I couldn't find any concrete numbers.
I know there's comorbidities.
So when I say to you, we're looking at a matter of weeks that there was an interruption, simultaneously you have duplication from other government agencies like the State Department, like the USDA, like the CDC, like the NIH. So now you have our government agencies that are simultaneously doing it. You have blanket waivers that came into effect within a matter of.
What was the date of us being on that show?
I know that you had a post about Nutty Putty. That was March 3rd. And
did comorbidities take you back a little bit?
Elon Musk said this contract was reinstated
to the good old days
2 weeks ago, which would have coincided with the waivers. I know that on the 28th of January, we'd already given a blanket waiver, or Rubio did. I already know there's duplication with government agencies. I know other countries are giving. I know that for a fact. I know that there's local charities. I know that these companies that are getting this money are getting tens of millions of dollars. So I would think that they could probably float it for a couple of...
You think it's all just sort of, some people are faking it now, a year
Well, 600 to
later.
$750,000, or I'm sorry, 750,000 people? Yes, I think that's inaccurate. And I'm giving you all the reasons why I think it's inaccurate.
You think the models are inaccurate? You think the Lancet is making this up, et cetera, et cetera?
I just told you all of the... I'll tell you one thing for sure. It's absolutely partisan. I was able to see like different information coming from both sides.
Well, go into the methodology of the study. Like, if it's a model, hypothetically, you should be able to actually look at just how they did it. And if there are methodological problems, then that is like a legitimate concern. I would start there, personally. Like, figure out if the numbers don't add up.
One side says nobody, and the other side says millions. I can't find anything concrete online. It's not to say that I think, oh, this is amazing. What I was trying to tell you is that food aid is not stopping. That is a narrative that they were leaning on to distract from other things that are really nefarious, like corruption in Haiti, in Afghanistan.
I am fully on board with, but nothing Doge did in any way dealt with all of those things that you're talking about.
No, of course not. It helped a little. And I think, and if you listen to...
You have evidence of that, or is that your projection?
I'll give you two examples. So, guys, which SOT is it? SOT 13, where Elon Musk talks about what he was able to accomplish, I think?
SOT.
Oh, wait a second. So we're going to trust Elon Musk. We're concerned about the partisanship of somebody who's
he says there was so
from Harvard is in the, or I should say,
it's
someone
BU.
who studies
Boston
from
University.
The Lancet.
It's
from the Lancet. And you're going to go to Elon Musk.
I'm going to go to Marco Rubio. I'm going to go to the State Department. What he talks about is he killed like 200. He created a code to kill zombie payments. He talks about how he was able to be nominally effective. But when he references...
Oh, I bet you're loving this, aren't you, Jesse? I bet you're loving it. He created a code.
He wasn't capable of being super effective. He talks about the bureaucracy and the corruption.
Bet he had a lot of tokens to work with. Bet his YouTube comments were flying in.
And the bloat and how it was more entrenched than he ever imagined. It doesn't mean it was...
I don't know what the tokens means. So before you start trying to explain it, I have some examples I would like to show you.
I don't need to hear Elon Musk try and justify why he failed so miserably.
What we found with USAID cuts, and by the way, they haven't all been cut. The parts of USAID that we found to be even slightly useful were transferred to the State Department. So they've not been deleted. They've simply been transferred to the State Department. But many times over with USAID and other organizations, when they've said, oh, well, this is going to help, children, or it's going to help some disease eradication or something like that. And then when we ask for any evidence whatsoever, I say, well, please
boner alert.
Connect us with this group of children so we can talk to them and understand more about their issue. We get nothing. They don't even try to come up with a show orphan, meaning like this sort of like, well, can we at least see a few kids? Like, where are they? If they're in trouble, we'd like to talk to them and talk to their caregivers. Okay, well, and then we get nothing as a response.
This guy's got space lasers.
Because it's what we find is an enormous amount of fraud and graft.
Okay, let me put this example to you.
Very little of it actually gets to the kids, if anything at all.
You heard me say it, but I'll say it again. I'm a huge fan of Skims Intimates.
Ah.
They make the stretchiest underwear fabric, and then they created the cutest push-up bra, and now they've done it again with a new cotton fabric menu that follows. It's SOT 10.
As some type of...
Let's say breakfast, lunch, and dinner cost 3 tokens per day in total. No, I'm not doing
proof.
It also...
You're not sucking me into your
because he
vortex.
said he did.
So, okay, so he did... Nothing got changed. What about the duplication of moving things like malaria aid from multiple different agencies just to the State Department? You don't think that could be helpful? No benefit there? Or drawing some attention?
I think actually when you get rid of institutional knowledge,
I don't know that it would help. I don't know that it would help your folks. Icky Nova, Icy Nova, Icky Nova. I think I've called you that before. But I would be scared if he walked into a room and I was there and we disagreed on something. I would be like, "Oh my God, what a nightmare!"
Knowledge about the way that systems work and logistics, and you do this in the particularly in the method in which they did it. I think it's actually incredibly damaging. Yeah.
So when all of this moves over to the State Department or the USDA, you think?
In fact, I think the USDA. Look, we already know.
You don't think there's
we already know
philanthropies that are engaged and involved, NGOs that are engaged and involved. You don't think that there's? If you worked for USAID and you were involved in,
if you worked for USDA, your number one agenda would be trying like boost big ag, essentially.
It was the same
and so
thing with food
the
for
idea,
peace, Sam. It was the same. That's why I told you it's a red herring.
Damn you, moron!
It's the
I don't
same.
think you know what red herring means.
It's a distraction away from a key issue. I'll give you I knew you were going to say that. Actually, I pulled you the exact definition.
The deaths of children and of other people looking
the deaths
for aid
of children. Here, a red herring is a piece of information, clue, or line of argument that misleads or distracts.
They love the definition thing. They love the definitions. It's not authoritative. Definitions aren't authoritative.
From the original relevant topic or issue, which was bloat, corruption, ghost receipts, middlemen skimming money, bureaucracy,
and none of the bloat
fake
or corruption
invoices.
was dealt with.
That's not true.
You just agreed.
Some of it, Sam. He's very clear.
You just agreed that it's that all the nefarious colonial things have just moved to other agencies.
Is it possible that we're saying the same thing? You were worried about food aid. And I'm telling you not to worry. It's still happening. That's what
I was worried about
food aid. You were worried about food aid. And I said, don't worry. That is still going to happen. That is a red herring. And it is still happening 100%. No,
the argument even that Rodale made in his book was not that the food aid wasn't real. Is that it was delivered in a way that whose agenda was to primary benefit big ag in this instance.
I don't think they like each other.
And then he said, it's actually not the case that that
disaster
direct aid is
disaster aid.
He thinks there should be more of it.
That's disaster aid. So this is ongoing aid. And just the fact that
I specifically in that, I think in that Piers Morgan thing talked about, I can't remember the amount now, but it was in.
Do you know that the USDA purchased 211,000 metric tons of food on February 3rd for disaster food relief?
There were tons of like food that for malnourished kids who couldn't digest actual food.
Yes,
so it was like
that
this pre-digested stuff, and that all just rotted.
No, it didn't. It did not.
Really?
It did not, Sam. So that tweet was put out on March 3rd. I think John Favreau put it out. Elon Musk responded immediately and said the contract was reinstated 2 weeks back, and it was put through the USDA. And on February 3rd, the USDA.
Oh, okay. Well, now I think we're good then. This is what Elon Musk said. No one has died as a result of. Okay. Sanity check on for it. No one. Not a single person. Okay, well. Nor are these funding. Okay, let's let them.
USDA said we are buying 211,000 metric tons of emergency food aid. That is disaster relief. We're not talking about disaster relief. That's not actually what that book is about. It is about. I can.
Well, he does mention disaster relief in there. Actually.
No one is. There's not one person.
Disaster readiness.
No
25% cut.
Sam, $1 of aid does not equate to food or medication. So when you're cutting things, I'm going to say it one more time. They're cutting duplication. They're cutting bloat. They're cutting corruption.
According to
so you think,
Elon Musk.
So real quick, you think, I'm just curious, you think that Big Ag was going to let anything be cut from that contract? Do you? Or not that contract. I mean,
I will tell you this right now.
Do you think that they were going to allow that? Because they didn't.
I think.
Do you think that
Donald
happened?
Trump and Elon Musk could have cut any contract they wanted to.
But
and
they
they
didn't.
specifically did not cut the contracts you're talking about.
Which was exactly what
But
I
they
told
did
you
cut a bunch of other
Piers
stuff
Morgan.
that help people.
Which is exactly what I told you on Piers Morgan. Which is why I told
the way
you.
I interpret it. I must have misunderstood.
All right. Well, then forgive me. I would hope actually that you and I may see eye to eye on this, because ongoing aid does create dependency, and it creates it by design. And if and this is not, listen, I'm not trying to say, oh, you got it wrong. I'm trying to just show you something so that maybe you'll agree with me and we'll have some common ground. So the way
I don't want them to get any common ground. I like when they yell at each other and they like make their positions more stark.
The way that these guys do this, right? It comes in phases. And this is, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm literally just trying to educate the audience, should they be confused at all. This has gone on since the 50s. And it was started by Eisenhower, and Kennedy rebranded it as Food for Peace, and it moved through US aid. Trump in 2025, on February 3rd, moved it to the USDA and made it all tied aid. So tied aid means that it has to come from our ag companies and ship through our shipping companies. This is, in fact,
He's got some white
terrible.
teeth.
And
Great-
other
great
countries give
He
cash.
did the opposite.
Welcome to the Dr. Elliot Morgan stream. There's some nice white teeth.
What you are advocating.
100%. Oh, that's what I would advocate with food policy. Absolutely. I'd like to see 24 million that was given to the Children of God orphanage in Kenya that was trafficking kids. I'd like to see that go away. Yes. And the thing is, you also don't, in all fairness, you don't really know anything about me, Sam. I have been doing this a long time.
I don't.
I get it,
Julie,
but when you
don't
say,
understand. I don't
care. I know, but then
I
don't make
care.
accusations if you don't know.
I was responding to what you said on that program, and you said that the kids were a red herring.
Because they were going to get the food anyway.
No. I've
So
just
when I said
listed
the
off
bloat
to
and
you
corruption is not
all
about
of
that.
The cuts.
So when
I've just quoted from an article from April 22nd.
And
of
tell me,
this
what did
year
they cut though,
about
Sam? So when you
Uganda.
I don't care are three of just the most cutting words. Like powerful words and also a powerful sentiment in this kind of scenario. I don't care. Because it's like getting out of the ego part of just, I don't care. I don't care if you're right or wrong or if you call me a liar. Like in the very beginning, he was like, I will grant you that I'm a liar and I made fun of you or whatever. I appreciate that. Also, just like, what do you say to that?
Say malarial relief. Could it be a...
Same with like the empathy thing that we were talking about earlier. Like, I think that, I mean, not to do like the facts over feelings thing, but you can have a political outlook that like, or a platform that like exudes and acts out empathy, or I mean, that is the wrong word, whoever said that earlier, but like, you can just leave a lot of the emotions out of it a little bit, but then it wouldn't be a good debate.
Cut in duplication. Is that possible?
Duplication.
Could it be? Could it be a cut in bureaucracy? Could it be a cut in ghost payments? Is it possible, Sam?
Do you think you were successful?
We're a little bit successful. We were somewhat successful. I mean, we stopped a lot of funding for that really just made no sense. That was just entirely wasteful. Where we're like, for example, there was probably 100, maybe $200 billion worth of zombie payments per year.
Finkelstein's coming.
Which simply by
brace yourself,
enforcing that there be a payment code.
Mr. Borelli, brace yourself.
And an explanation for the payment, that the payment would not go out.
Do you do Doge again, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, would you?
The thing is, like, I think instead of doing Doge, I would have basically built, worked on my companies, essentially. So, and the cars they wouldn't have been burning the cars.
You gave up a lot to do Doge.
Yeah. Like if you stop money going to going for political corruption, they will lash out big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big fridge.
So they really want the money to keep flowing.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dr. Elliot Morgan stream. I am a Twitch affiliate as of today. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow if you're on YouTube or Twitch, or do both. And click that bell. It really helps so much. And also, that's a big fridge.
So if you stop it from flowing, there's like a very strong reaction to stopping the money flowing.
I spoke to a
Is
guy
it
who worked
possible,
at
Sam?
USAID for 10 years.
Is it
who will never
possible?
be
I
back in
know, and
that
the guy
agency.
literally didn't even know that we funded COVID partly through USAID. There's.
You're suggesting that we created COVID.
I do believe so. Yes, okay. I think that we funded. I do think the EcoHealth Alliance funded it through money that came from the NIH and the USAID. I do think that string of emails from Morenz and Daszak is fairly good evidence of that fact. I do believe that, yeah. And so does the FBI. I think the CIA does now. Like that's a generally well recognized, I'm not going to say fact, but thought, belief. If you don't think so, that's totally fine. We could litigate it at a different time. I do think we did. Yeah.
You don't think we did it on purpose, do you?
I have no idea why we would do it. I do know the theories about gain of function research. I can't necessarily tell you.
The look on Sam's face is how I felt when I was looking through the comments on this video earlier. Do you think we did it on purpose? Do you think we did? Do you think we made it on purpose? Do you think we made COVID on purpose? I'm just asking questions.
Entirely altruistic. I mean, the argument is like, well, we're just studying what would happen.
So do you support things like patent reform and antitrust?
Of course.
That would prevent these agents. And so how is it do you see yourself supporting an administration that has had total control of our government, that has broached laws and constitutional authority to do whatever they want, and they haven't done any of this stuff that would actually in any way.
They have in health. They have in health.
Oh,
I'll give you a few.
They've hurt. I mean,
I'll give you
even most recent.
Yes, let's make this fall off the rails, guys. Start talking about everything else. You're not going to reach an agreement on the number of dead people based on a model and the number of dead people that you can actually see. So we should talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, because I want to see you keep yelling at each other.
Recently, they have rolled back meat processing, for that matter. There was a huge antitrust case against the meat packers, and
Trump is definitely
former
like
defense attorney, who's now the head of
meat pack.
The DOJ. Basically just let them walk away from what was clearly a case that was going to be found to, they have violated antitrust. You see the consolidation of big ag across the country.
But do you think this is unique to his administration? It's not.
I think it's
you do? I don't think so at all.
Intensity,
and I would tell you, okay.
I mean, because all of these
I've worked for numerous administrations, though, Sam. I worked with the Clintons. I worked with the Obama administration on this. I don't actually work with Maha.
With Obama on antitrust, without a doubt. But under the Biden administration, all of these antitrust cases were lined up, and the Trump administration has basically just ejected them. I mean, that's it.
But I'm not arguing with you about that. If you're asking me what I see evil, and I see the need to pick a lesser one. If there's a different option, that would be wonderful. I'm not actually
So you consider Trump the lesser evil? Who's the lesser evil?
I do. I actually do.
And in what respect?
Okay, I'll give you an example in the area that I'm in, is my wheelhouse. So when it comes to health, let's say insurance, pharma, food policy, with Trump, you get one and you lose one.
Yeah, they're going to be really pretty much aligned on vaccines. Who isn't?
Get one and you lose one.
What's the one you get?
Okay. So when Kennedy redesigned, we'll call it, the food guidelines, it's not just an infographic. So it guides hundreds of millions in subsidy flows. Now, by doing that, by redesigning it, what he's forcing more of our tax dollars to go towards healthier food, and he's forcing areas, food deserts. Okay, so what's going to fund? What is the food pyramid fund, right? It's going to fund lunch for our kids in school, military, it's prisons, all that stuff. That's what guides what gets fed to your kids in public school, for example, or our soldiers in the military. By changing that, we're forcing the funding of healthier options, and we're forcing their availability into 250, I think Brooke Rollins said 250,000 locations where you have food deserts. That's a win.
Wait. So how are the food deserts being? I mean,
because they take SNAP. Because they take SNAP.
Mamdani, first of all, this administration has kicked tons of people. I mean, 3 to 4 million people off of SNAP.
Okay,
and more,
let's go through. So what do you agree with about that, and what don't you? I'll tell you what I don't agree with about.
Mamdani is actually literally addressing food deserts.
The
city-owned super.
You can look up for the big beautiful bill. You can look like what they cut from like SNAP, Medicaid, and you can look at the tax breaks they gave to families making over $500,000, and it's like the exact same size. There's maybe like a little bit of a difference, but it's like they just took and they just gave it to them.
Supermarkets.
Okay, Sam, we could definitely look at the economics of Mamdani. They've done it before in New York in the 70s, and it didn't work. And that supermarket is $30 million for one market. It happens in 4 years when his term is up.
Just to be clear, go more aggressively on it. I'm with you on that, but so
I don't think it works. But I would definitely get an
RFK in changing the food pyramid. Is going to deal with food deserts? How's that happening?
Okay, here's how it happens. If a place that takes SNAP benefits,
school them, Julian.
Right, if
take
they
them down.
take SNAP benefits, they are forced to offer what the guidelines recommend. I could even find you, if someone could find me a clip, like Brooke Rollins says she is going to demand now that 250,000 locations carry healthier options. Can I guarantee?
Well, how is she going to demand?
Because
that?
if they you can't take SNAP if you don't offer the food on the
The market solution here is we've subsidized food purchases.
Yes.
And if we don't allow
I'd like to subsidize healthier food. The food pyramid directs those subsidy flows. So
but you would have to argue.
This sounds a little bit like they don't want them using SNAP to buy lobster or whatever. You know, that whole.
That there is enough of a margin for those people to acquire the foods that you're talking about without any other subsidies. Just that the market forces there are going to do it, so that these small bodegas that may exist in these food deserts, for instance, they're gonna buy the fresh fruit and produce.
If they take
without
SNAP,
any other
they
incentive.
have to offer the food that the pyramid recommends.
The SNAP that
you're poor, you're gonna eat what we say you eat. You want to eat? You want to not eat what we say you're gonna eat? Better not be poor.
Their only eligibility is associated with having to offer those, and you think that there is any type of enforcement mechanism that's going to come in and do that?
I do.
What is the enforcement mechanism?
What do you think
What's
about
the budget that's
What do you
been
think about
added
food
to
in
the
schools?
FDA
How
to
do you
do
think?
that?
How do you think that flows? What directs that? What directs food in schools? What directs the food that we feed to the military? What?
Do you guys have healthy food in school? Like public school? Anyone here? You're not riveted by the chat's not blowing up right now because of this incredible yeah, no, I had like Pizza Hut on Fridays, which was my favorite. Tuesdays I think were mini corn dog day. Still a big fan of those. Arguably make my breath the worst ever. Papa John's, nice. I haven't had Papa John's in a while. That sounds good. I'm a big fan of crappy pizza. My palate has not grown since or matured since high school. That's where I'm at. I like my treats, and I like my processed foods. Stay out of my fridge, Jillian. Frozen pizza, yeah, the frozen pizza, that stuff was rough. Milk, yeah. Chocolate and all that. Did you guys have the rumor that the chocolate milk is chocolate because it had blood in it, so they made it chocolate to hide the blood? Sloppy Joe's, nice. Chicken nugget, yeah. Right, exactly. The continued meat sticks. Though I will say those are chomps. Thank you very much. They're grass-fed. They are the most, the healthiest meat stick. I will say yesterday when I had one though, I did feel a little queasy at one point, and I don't know if you could tell, but I was a little like, oof, maybe I shouldn't have had the meat stick. But what, am I have a smoothie every day?
What directs it?
Yeah, like what informs if your kid went to a public school, what would inform what's on their plate?
Well, in New York City, I mean, it's programs that are city-based. Now, certainly
I'm sure there were healthier options when I was in school. Is that how it is now? Do they just give you healthier? I mean, great. I want them to like get into something a little more salacious besides like
schools,
the
public
health
schools.
stuff. It makes me uncomfortable.
The food in front of your kid, if they go to a public school, is directed by the food pyramid. That's why it's more than just an infographic.
I get it. I can tell you though that the food varies from public school to public school. Having sent 2 kids to public school in New York City, it is a function of a lot of things. It is not just one set of foods. And yes, I get that the food pyramid does that, but
I'll give you 2 other examples. I'll give you 2 other examples. How about
the FDA has not issued a single new food regulation. The FDA has not banned a single chemical in any food.
That's not true. They banned one, and they're reevaluating the grass rule. That's not true. So now, the way the grass rule works,
they have asked the industry to remove certain dyes.
They have 3 years, I believe, to do that, and that is not enough. There are thousands of chemicals.
It's not a ban.
That's a good point.
It's an app.
I'm sorry. Does the nursing home have healthy food?
Okay.
I don't believe so. Red number, I think it's 40. It has to be removed within several years.
I'm in favor of it, but I think that
But they've
when you see what's going
let me
on
give
with
you an
Monsanto, when you see what's going up around
us,
and you see all these different things, I'm very skeptical. But I
get
as
you should be,
changed
you should be, but it does not mean. I'll give you 2 other examples. Okay, so the grass rule, which is the generally recognized as safe rule.
I mean, she's in her wheelhouse, I guess. She is
That
healthy.
allows big food to just vouch for the safety of the chemicals on their product. So Kennedy is closing that door. He's closing the grass loophole. That to me is a good thing. I'll take it. I haven't gotten anything like it out of any administration I've ever worked with. I'll give.
It legally delinks PBM compensation from drug prices and rebates.
Okay.
Joined the administration. None of that happened. I have video of it, but none of it happened.
No, I didn't say
when I testify. None of that happened. I have video of those conversations, but none of it happened.
Not what I was talking about.
Okay. So again, I
I
don't know what else to tell you. This stuff does matter to me. What else would you like to litigate about it? I'm not quite sure. Tell me what else you want to discuss. I'll discuss it with you. These are the things that matter to me.
Not the wars, not the.
But if you want to talk about war, Biden is the one who we got into Ukraine under Biden. And
what do you mean? We got into Ukraine. There was an invasion of Ukraine.
But Sam, there were potential off ramps for that. One would argue, like the Minsk Accords. There were potential off ramps.
I think Ukraine didn't want to give up their territory.
They didn't have to give up the territory in 22.
I don't see why
they
Biden
didn't have to give up the territory in 22.
Had any more opportunity to end this than Trump does.
I don't agree with you. I think that there were opportunities at the Minsk Accords
that was a good one.
that provided off ramps, and we didn't take them. Why we didn't take them? I could posit. I guess.
Wait, it's we now. So under Biden, we controlled Ukraine, but under Trump, we don't control Ukraine.
Well, let's look at that one. And I this is the way I perceive it.
Let's cut to a clip.
We pushed and we pushed and we pushed with regard to expanding NATO. And we promised we wouldn't, right? There was a hard red line. You've got the memo, I think it was from, was it Burns to Condoleezza Rice, that was like, under no circumstance should you add Ukraine to NATO. It is a hard red line. Like, I can't remember. Niet means niet. It was something like that. Like, do not do it. We've known for a long time that this would trigger somewhat of a disaster. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cut to, we've had numerous opportunities to take an off-ramp prior to this. Russia's
Ukraine was never admitted into NATO.
But they wanted to be admitted to NATO, which is what
Ukraine did want to be. We also had an obligation from '93 to provide defense for Ukraine in exchange for them to give up their nukes.
Sam, what does that have to do with Putin saying, I don't want them to go to NATO?
Well, they didn't go to NATO.
But okay, so what?
They're not in NATO now.
What triggered? What triggered? So in the Minsk Accords, what triggered Putin's invasion?
Minsk Accords?
Tell me, what triggered it?
What triggered his invasion in the Minsk?
So we blew the Minsk Accords. We had an opportunity to reinvigorate that in 22, to fix that whole situation, and it didn't, fell apart. There was an opportunity.
So you're justifying the invasion of Ukraine because...
No, I'm not justifying it. I've been on the record saying I think Putin is a monster. I think there were opportunities to negotiate this before it got this far. I don't know how. How would you get Putin out?
Yeah, let's cut to a clip is very much in my go-to lexicon of just things to say. To the point that I have to sometimes be like, don't say it.
Out of Ukraine at this point. He's arguably winning.
That, and what is that, a coffee machine?
What's the leverage?
I don't know.
We're not doing it again.
Winning. I don't know.
Seems like it. So what's the leverage now? We had more leverage in 22. We don't seem to have
we had more leverage in 22 with whom? With Ukraine or
with Russia before they were what appears to be winning.
What was our leverage with Russia?
What did Putin want? What did he want? He said, "Do not add." Let's look it up.
I think he wants Ukraine.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. What happened? What was his ultimatum in 2022?
I think he wants Ukraine.
That's not what caused his invasion, though. We had an opportunity to negotiate that situation in 2022. So
I think he wanted Ukraine.
What?
And I think that's what it is.
Just look.
I mean, I
what
think that's
instigated
why you have countries like
invading Ukraine in. Let's see if I can. Okay. Historical grievances, deep-seated fears of Western democratic influence.
Yeah.
Okay. Fear of Western expansion. Putin perceived Ukraine's pivot towards Western institutions, particularly the EU and NATO, as an existential threat to Russia's geopolitical sphere of influence and security. That's what I just said.
I understand.
That's what I just said.
I understand.
And eventually,
that
okay.
We watched it yesterday.
Says that it was because it's an existential threat to have an independent Ukraine to them. But I mean,
let's see.
I don't think that justifies an invasion.
I'm not telling you it justifies an invasion. I'm telling you,
in fairness, she is not saying that.
Opportunity in 20.
What would America should have done at that point? We had a pact with them to provide defense against
I wouldn't
Russia
have continued expanding NATO. It seems like that was kind of a big deal.
What was the NATO expansion in that direction? As far as I know,
we have
most of what public officials in the U.S. were saying is that we're not going to expand to Ukraine.
When we promised, right? When was this? Reagan administration? We promised we wouldn't expand NATO. Would we add like 15 countries and put it all the way on their border? Yeah. Okay, so hold on. What did the U.S. promise Russia about NATO expansion? Wasn't this
the facial expressions are really what I'm here for.
Okay, what Gorbachev heard. All right. Hang on. 1990 assurances. Is that it? Okay, James Baker told Soviet leader Mikhail
I don't totally understand
Mikhail
what the point
Gorbachev
is.
that there would not be an expansion 1 inch
insofar as
eastward.
Yeah.
Okay, so since then, we've added like 15 countries and we're about to move it all the way to their border. Like, probably just shouldn't have done that. Since then.
As far as I know,
country. NATO add. Okay, say.
You guys gonna keep talking or?
We did move.
We added 16 countries. After we promised not one inch. Here, since 1990, NATO has expanded to include 16 new member countries through 6 waves of enlargement, increasing its total membership from 16 to 32. The expansion incorporated nations from Eastern Europe and the Northern region, and we put it right on the border there, which was a no-no. And we have, was it WikiLeaks or was it Julian Assange? What was it that leaked the memo from Burns to Condoleezza Rice saying, no. I'm just saying. Toast. So if you're going to say Trump is a president of war, I don't actually agree with you. I don't think so.
I'm talking about Iran.
Okay, let's talk about Iran.
We attacked Iran. We did. We did not attack Russia.
True.
You understand? You're comparing providing defensive weaponry to Ukraine
is this a, okay,
to
so
literally
is this,
bombing another country.
My feeling on Iran right now is that we don't really know how it's going to turn out. So
there could still be schoolgirls that are just walking around in Iran.
Far.
What do you mean we don't know how it's going to turn out?
Okay,
we already know right now.
I don't agree with you.
That we have killed thousands of civilians.
Yes, thank you.
We have expended
thousands of civilians.
Oh, you're talking about Sam being Qasim. That's very funny. Grace saw Qasim the other weekend.
So we've killed thousands of Iranian civilians on the street.
We've killed thousands of Iranians, yes.
Civilians.
That dude did a glow up too, didn't he?
Or the IRGC.
Civilians. I don't think that's controversial at all.
Really? All right.
Welcome to the
Team,
chat,
have we
AA
killed
Ron.
Thousands of Iranian civilians. I know there was some skepticism over a school.
There's skepticism?
A little skepticism over maybe double, possibly triple tapping a school and having no evidence that there was any missile base at all. And then the guy, I think yesterday, I think it was City or Sky News, I think, was like following the dude around who just looked, I mean, looked very guilty, but yeah, the just a little skepticism around the over 150 people, mostly schoolgirls, dying.
Over that school?
Yes, because
I don't even think the U.S. government has denied it. They just said that it
they actually
have been
they've said that they think that it was probably an IRGC missile potentially hitting the school.
Twice.
And there's no defined answer because I tried to find it. How many?
My God. I mean, the level of delusion
Really?
to argue that somehow we're not engaged in a war and that it could work out okay.
I do think it could work out okay,
like
Sam.
you're to the right of you know,
the U.S. killed
significant portion of the Republican Party. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Let's see. How many civilians have we killed?
I'm not going to be able to not see Qasim G now when I look at MC.
So how many do you think it is?
Ask Grok.
How many do I think it is?
Yeah.
I think we've killed probably thousands.
Okay, the Manab school strike is the first thing that comes up.
Estimates I saw.
The primary
about 3,700
incident
people.
under U.S. military investigation is a strike on an all-girls school near Manab, which killed at least 156 to 175. Okay, urban strikes. Independent documentation from news outlets like the Mehr News Agency notes specific incidents, like an attack on Tehran's Nilofar Square. I don't know if this is us. That killed 20 civilians.
Can't be us.
Human Rights says 1,700 civilian deaths.
Oh, okay.
Civilians. Tens of thousands have been wounded, supposedly. I mean, I don't think we
Tens
can
of
know
thousands
exactly.
of civilians or IRGC? Which I don't really, to be honest, I don't really feel bad if the IRGC, who's hanging teenagers, I don't really feel bad if they're being killed. I'd rather see the IRGC not beat women to death for their hair sticking out of their hijab or engage in sexual torture. Like, I don't really feel bad about the IRGC.
That was exactly how we were sold to go into Afghanistan, too.
Anytime the United States pretends to care about the citizens of a country that it's not have as an ally, that means that you can set a stopwatch and pretty soon we're going to bomb them.
But
we just when they start talking about Cuba, And like, well, we got to help the Cuban people. Well, we had to help all these other people, and then these other people, and it's like
Sam, we don't have boots on the ground.
in Afghanistan.
We've lost 14 million soldiers. We're in the process of a negotiation, are we not?
How many?
14 soldiers? Our soldiers?
Oh, I thought you said 14 million.
14 soldiers.
We've lost,
it is for
we're spending billions upon billions of dollars.
First of all,
that
do you know
I know
that
you
we're
were
spending,
so concerned about.
Okay,
we're going to
hold on.
end up
do you know
exactly
that that's a
the best
fraction
case
of
we
just
could
the
end up
fraud
is
in California?
JPCOA.
Just a fraction of the fraud in California. I do think, tell me something, I have a question for you. Why would Iran enrich uranium to up to 60%? Why? We have that independently verified.
Why would they? Why would they store?
I would now if I was them.
It?
Why would they enrich it? Why would they enrich it to up
country-
to 60%? Why?
Because it's leverage.
Yep.
Well, you want them
Because
to have
they
that
had,
leverage?
they
I
didn't
don't want them
start
to
to
have
do
that
this.
leverage.
They didn't start to do this until Trump
That's not true.
unilaterally got out of the JPCOA.
That is not true.
It is true.
No, it isn't.
And they built up their stockpiles. They,
In fairness, that is not true. Is a pretty rock solid argument.
So Iran has never been a threat. They haven't chanted death to America. They haven't had a nuclear program. It hasn't been a problem for years.
They haven't had a nuclear program outside of starting to store this enrichment.
So they enriched it because of Trump. Okay, so that's the reason.
No. They didn't enrich it because of Trump. Trump was the one who took us out of the deal that if we're lucky, we will get back to.
Why did he take us out of the deal, Sam?
Because he resented that Obama signed it? I have no idea.
Sam,
because
that's not
there
why.
were also people in his administration who wanted to have more of a conflict with Iran, and it wasn't until his second term where he had more toadies that he was able to. And so Iran, had they a nuclear weapon, I think we probably would not be bombing them.
That's true.
We've never bombed a country with a nuke.
We probably
And
would
so
not be.
it is the most rational thing in the world for them to.
So we just telegrammed to the entire world that if they don't want U.S. to attack them, there's one thing they need to do.
Pursue that.
Well, I personally do not want.
Unless they get the benefits. And they have put on the
And
table
defense
on
contractors,
multiple
don't forget.
occasions already deals. In fact, the PM of Oman, who was doing the negotiation, said that Iran had made a deal to get rid of all of their enriched uranium.
They won't let
that
the
they would not
IAEA
stockpile. They would
investigate-
only. Excuse me. Let me finish.
Okay.
They would only enrich uranium at a level that was necessary for a civilian nuclear power program.
They just said they wouldn't do
and
that.
Witkoff and.
You think that's a rock solid argument? That is not true. Whoa. Okay, fair enough. See what I mean? Whoa, this is like a paradox that we've fallen into. I can't tell left from right, or I can't tell up from right or left from down. How was Costco? It was a good smoothie, right, guys? You saw it. Had peptides in it, new ones that have been specifically engineered to reverse aging. Costco stresses me out. But we figured out a plan where we're going to actually come up with a list of things to get first. So that's the kind of development that happens when you get a doctorate and then a week and a half later you become a Twitch affiliate. All the pistons start firing. We go, hey, maybe we make a list first so that we're not immediately overwhelmed and stressed out and confused, which is how I feel when I go into Costco. And I don't understand how the checkout process works. And I don't understand the boxes that you're supposed to use. At least I'm assuming that's how all of them work. I wish they would just have bags.
Kushner, for whatever reasons,
No, I don't.
Some speculate because they didn't come with any experts on nukes. Some speculate because Jared Kushner has a lot of interests outside of that room that he is working for. I don't know what the answer is to either one of those.
Here.
But we do know that this offer was put on the
Instacart at
table
Costco.
While the deal,
before
okay, so here's why
the United States attacked.
Okay, so you're saying Iran never violated the JCPOA? Never.
Yeah, honestly, because we've been talking about stocking up on certain things based on where we're going economically.
I don't know if they never violated, but they certainly didn't increase their uranium productions. I'm sure on some level there were probably a specific
like
130 metric tons in 2016 of heavy water stockpile that I guess you use to enrich uranium. Advanced centrifuge development in 2016, 2017. Systemic
All right, we're gonna switch gears for the last little bit here. Who do you guys think won? Would you like to read some of the comments? Let's find out what we have here. This should be fun. It's like arguing with a child. Actually, I think a child has more sense than this bully. Sam can be a bit of a Sam Cedar. What a nightmare. After this, I'm totally okay you never bothering to try to interview or debate these people. It's not worth your energy. God bless you for trying, but Sam isn't able to allow for actual dialogue. He sounds like all the lefties I know. Yeah, he does. This is why people don't have him on. All he does is obfuscate, move the goalpost, or pretend like he doesn't know what you're talking about. If all that fails, he just flat out lies. Were we watching? We were watching enough of that to decide whether or not that makes any sense. Who do you think was the biggest loser in that debate? I think we all were. And I think Sam probably was the one who walked away feeling like something had been taken from him. I honestly thought some of the points she made were fine. I feel like she's just maybe a little bit out of her depth, and I think that there's a certain way of going about debate that maybe they weren't on the same page for. Sam is insufferable. He filibusters, deflects, and talks over you. Whenever there's an argument he can't win or position he can't justify with evidence. I saw him just get kind of silent at certain times and wait for her to finish, but how does anyone still take that guy serious? Stock up on motor oil? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, duh. I know. So we're going to watch one more thing and then maybe a quick source of that video, but I thought this would be fun because I am not like a fan of this guy, but I think he makes me laugh sometimes, and he makes a lot of good points here. Are you guys familiar with Tim Dillon? Because if you're not, you're about to be. Sam didn't ask enough questions to Grok, basically. Incredibly dynamic. Is he scared of balding? Or are you thinking pool?
There's this idea that conflict between us and China is inevitable. Not only is it not inevitable, but it will be the end of the world, which some people want. Some people want that because they look at the post-World War II system. They go, it's not going to work. We owe too much money. We owe $40 trillion, $41 trillion. It goes up every year. We're not going to be able to get out of this. We're going to head towards hyperinflation. Okay. So we need a large war. And people are basically saying that the inevitable reality is that we will be in a conflict with China. We will not survive it. We probably won't win, by the way. And if we win, what does that even look like? So we have to deal with them.
That's
we
correct.
have to deal with China much more than Russia. Yes, we have to deal with Russia because they have 150 nuclear warheads, something, whatever, 180, doesn't matter.
The reason I'm playing this is because when I saw it last night, I was like, I genuinely, I think, agree with basically every word. Because if we were to go to war with China, it would totally destroy the. It could have nuclear fallout, could destroy the world economy, and to what end? Like we're probably going to be moving toward a bipolar world order with two superpowers.
China, but Russia has an economy roughly the size of Brazil. China is deeply enmeshed with the U.S. economy.
Correct.
We have to deal with them. And we can't go to war. We can't. And we have to tread very carefully. That's why we have every CEO in America in China right now. We need China. This whole idea that we're against China or anti-China is itself a lie. Yes,
it is.
I mean, the Steve Bannons and people will talk about how dangerous the CCP is, and they might be right. There's no fucking option. We have no option.
There's no option.
We have no option. There is no option.
Hey, he's right.
To start telling China what to do, that's not going to work. We can't beat Iran. We can't beat Iran. Okay? I'm in a British podcast studio, and I feel like everyone here just comes in and like talks very quietly, I imagine. And God only knows about what. But I have no idea what even, it's probably like mommy and me stuff, like they talk about like healthy yogurt for the kids or something. But it's just so funny. I imagine there's very few people that are screaming about China, but we don't have an option. There is no option.
Correct.
That's why every American CEO was in China and still might be. I don't know when this comes out, but like, this is very clear that there's no option. We're not telling China to fuck off. We're done with that. Let me help everybody. We're done with that. We're not the high school bully anymore. We're not. We're the weird kid who may have a gun. We are not the high school bully anymore. We're the weird kid that may have a gun and is not hot, but is not terribly ugly. Like you might fuck them. That's who we are. We're the weird kid that knows how to get drugs, who may have a gun, and you could see yourself fucking. We're not the bully. We are not the jock. We are not the quarterback. The American quarterback century is over. This is not Top Gun. We are not Tom Cruise. You need to wake the fuck up. There's a new Chinese kid in school.
The idea is, too, the 20th century is the American century. But the historian Daniel Bessner, I like listening to the podcast American Prestige, and he's like, we're entering now the American century of humiliation.
School, and he's kind of American looking.
I know, it's like I feel like maybe he also watches the same or listens to the same history foreign policy podcast. I think this is woke. I think he's gone woke.
He's kind of ripped, but he's also Chinese, and he's hot, and people want to fuck him. They want to fuck him because he's kind of got a nice cock, and people want it. They want to get down, and they want to slurp him. They don't want to slurp us anymore. You know why? Because we've hung out behind the Dairy Queen too long, doing drugs with our friends. We look a little older. We have wrinkles in our face. We're the college kid who keeps going to the high school parties. We're a pedophile, and we may have a gun. This country is a pedophile that may have a gun who knows how to get drunk.
Saying we're a pedophile is just very funny to me.
Drugs.
We're a pedophile.
And you have to deal with that person. But there's a new kid on the block. And yes, he put a bunch of Muslims in a concentration camp, but no one gives a shit because he's got that beautiful, clear, light complexion, and he knows all the answers in math class. And he's who everybody wants to hang out with right now. Dumb. Have you ever seen an American, like a half American, half Asian, in like a varsity jacket? It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. That's who we are right now. We are the weird kid who may or may not have a weapon, whose parents leave him home alone so you can have the parties at his house. We are not running the show. We are not the golden god of, we're just not. Come to reality, okay? We need to come to reality right now. We're not going to give the middle finger to China. We need to work with China. I will take money from China tonight. I will take money from China tonight. If China contacts me with money, I will take it, and I will not pay my costume designer who's a criminal. But I will take money from China tonight, for sure. The New York Times tried to give me money to say nice things about them, and I said no. So, but I will take money from China, an institution I respect.
Yeah, we're going to get to this.
And... But we do have to come to reality. There's this swagger that needs to be, it's got to go now because it's going to get us killed. The swagger that we have is going to get us killed. Okay? We can barely make a movie anymore. We can barely make anything that anybody wants to watch. The music is fine. It's fine. When I grew up, you had great pride in the things that we made. And yes, a lot of them were cultural. Whatever. We can barely even do that anymore. Our entertainment industry is a joke. It's becoming a joke, okay? So we can barely do any of that. And outside of a few cities, our infrastructure is crumbling. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I think there's a way back, but there's not a way back to us running the whole fucking world. So let's get realistic here.
Thank you.
Let's get realistic. Stop the swagger, okay? And start to honestly assess if the Iran war, honestly assess what can and cannot happen. If the Iran war didn't wake you up and doesn't show you the limits of American power, you're insane. Truly. If the Iran war did not show you the limits of American power in this century, you are crazy. This is not the Pax Romana for us here. This is not, we are.
Let's cut to a clip. It's cool for me to laugh at jokes as well that you're saying, so thank you. I like this streaming thing. I hope it, I just have to figure out how to do it and keep my energy up and then also get everyone watching. But that will require talking to my friends. And I just can't imagine talking to my and asking, send me your people. But they will. And if they don't, I will dox them. Which is something I love doing. Okay, all right. We're not going to watch this whole thing, but we're going to watch a little bit. Pivot to Zelda? Yeah, I mean... Wait, you don't know how I would? Or like... Well, I heard that was pretty painful, so I haven't done the Zelda thing yet. But that's not anyone's fault but my own, because I start playing it. I just clicked on like I'm like trying to get to know Twitch as a Twitch affiliate, and Twitch affiliate. And I like clicked on one, and it was just someone playing, like no camera, no chat, and just playing. Is that like a normal thing? I was like, wow, that's fun that people, I mean, it's very like straightforward, and if you're into it, good, good. All right, here we go. Probably my favorite, one of my favorites, I would say. And thank you, I will. I'll be back on Monday, or Tuesday, excuse me. I'm graduating this weekend, so I will be gone. So I'll be back Tuesday, and then I'll be gone next week for a family thing. So I should be back Tuesday and Wednesday. Next Tuesday, Wednesday. Who knows what time? Because apparently I chose potentially the worst times to do this. Because I think it's both when, like, both coasts are at work. We're a few minutes into it. This is Truth or Dare. The dare is Joe and me breaking up. And once again, I'm here to tell you that I miss that shirt.
I love you, baby.
You know what? That did it for me.
Oh, right.
I'm marrying Steve.
So Meg said, "What? Did you have? Do we have input?"
I do. I do. Are you an animal?
What does that have to do?
Your shoes are just...
I know, right? Absolute. Again, we had broken up. That's the joke. Joe and I broke up. Don't make that face, Elliot.
These non sequitur questions that you're asking.
You're an animal.
If I'm an animal, then you are a monster.
I don't like it when you guys fight.
Meg.
Yes.
Monster was our movie.
Oh
Christopher Vickers, Meg, would like you to, or would dare you to give your best Christopher Nolan Batman impression.
Oh my god.
Is that like
really?
Christopher Nolan doing Batman?
Christopher Nolan as
Christopher
Batman.
Nolan's
That
Batman.
was gonna be
very
terrible.
obvious.
Oh man. Do you like a voice?
Oh my god, are you okay?
That sounded like
All right,
Grover.
Here's how.
It sounded like you were gonna puke.
We're gonna do a little acting class here.
Yeah, no emotions.
Really?
I'm the only one who doesn't act at all. So impressions, voices, accents, I can't do any of them.
Okay. Now, are you almost done with the 10th grade,
let's
or are you
take
going
away-
into the 11th
let's take
grade
away
now?
from Meg's
Because
moment.
I don't,
Let's take
I don't
away from Meg's
remember.
moment.
Is that? Do you think that you're not
Please
being
take
distracted?
away
You're
from
really
Meg's
good.
Meg's
You're really
moment
good
right
at it. You took away 10 years of my life. And now you're taking away
Oh,
Meg's
10
life.
years.
Yeah,
10
wasted.
years.
Wasted.
9.5. Mr. Can't remember the anniversary. Anyway, guys.
Oh my god, I feel like I've had this
Oh my
argument.
god. See, that's the problem. I've always been a glass half full type of person. I'm rounding up.
As I was saying,
I'm having the same
why don't you
argument.
guys do a scene? You're Batman. You're monotone Joker. Please commence.
Theater
You gotta
kids.
follow the rules. Don't you laugh at me.
Are you drunk? Why so serious?
I can't kill you, but I'm really gonna hurt you right now.
I gotta be honest, I'm really freaked out right now. Oh my god.
She's actually crying. I just
Okay.
not coming out of my nose.
You're doing it, you're doing it, you're
I
doing it.
can't do it anymore.
Let her do it.
Oh, your face is red like your hair.
Let's hear her do
Crying and
it.
it's making my nose
Don't
red.
cry. This is happy time.
amazing.
Let's go
I'd
ahead
like
and
to
do
go back to Batman, please.
No, dude, Bane.
You just sound like you're pooping. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna
man.
Finally.
Some people find it easier to move on.
I might, well, it's weird to pause and then continue talking. It's like the voice goes from outside to inside. I'll do the Let's Play at some point.
Than others.
Goof.
You gonna do this here?
No, it's
I'll do a thing where I start the whole thing over. I'll erase one of my precious files.
We can talk about it later.
Oh, good.
good.
Oh, yeah, by the way, instead of in front of a bunch of people. I will be out with my friends later tonight when you move your stuff out.
Oh, really? So it's like every other day ever?
It's boxed up and it's in the hallway.
Cool. Did you
You don't
meticulously
need to
label
pass
it? Like
the
you
line.
meticulously
You
label
don't need-
everything around the house?
That doesn't matter.
Real life.
Be talking the rest of the week, but I will give
This
you
is
a call
actually
when we
how
talk
Joe
over
still
who
talks
gets
to me.
custody of Goldie. It's me.
Check the business mail, which I
You're not
just
going
now
to
remembered
take
I'm
Goldie.
supposed to
I
do.
swear I will hire a lawyer. I will hire.
Oh,
I will
with
bring-
what money from what job?
Oh,
What job?
That actually hurts my feelings
I was
now.
fired 3 weeks ago, and you decide.
Wait, can I please? Thank you, CJ.
Can we finish this one?
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
go.
good. Do you want to just?
You guys
do
give
you
me a minute because my nose is
Oh, no,
No, you're really good.
This is the
No,
closest
it's good.
thing-
It's good.
This is the closest thing to a job that you have. I'm gonna let you have this.
You guys need to think about
But
Goldie
you don't
right
get
now.
this ever again.
So the group dare
Goldie's best interests.
is
I love the
Elizabeth Milas, who typical
Brownie
asked us to do
face
as a
in the
group
title.
a sexy montage, and
the reason.
do you remember when we
I
used
went
to do
through like a
this? We used
sock
to do that a
phase.
lot. Stop it.
Oh my god.
where I thought that would give me some kind of a personality. No, I do remember those socks though. I really like those, and I would wear like crazy socks a lot, and really comfy big ones. Those are good ones though.
There was Steve was there, and you were there,
And it's communism. It's me. It's communist.
we had
Commie socks.
film, we had music in black and white. Thank you.
Norg was there.
It was like
It's
we
like
didn't have to search for happiness.
the world was our
because
playlist.
it was just there. We lived and breathed it.
We need a sexy montage now.
All right.
Kiss on the cheek. Make it sexy. I want to feel it.
I'm not ready.
I can't remember the last time I kissed Joe.
Stop.
Oh, I was laughing.
That's all I wanted. Just a little bit of
Oh, yeah,
affection.
put the thing
When's
in
the
my-
wedding?
Well, I guess there's only one thing
Any
left to do.
guesses on what he said?
Sexy montage.
Just kidding. Cutie. Great thumbnail. One guess. You get one guess, and if you get it wrong, that's tough to look at. Let's see how much longer. You have anything else? Really great. Hope that's not copyrighted. Once again, living on the edge. What was the discussion after filming this? I have no idea. This was 12 years ago. Yeah, that's stock dubstep. I think you're right. I'm in the clear. But no, I mean, I think those days we shot those on Fridays, and so I don't know if they went up on Fridays. I think they went up on the Saturday because they needed more time. Maybe we filmed them on Thursdays. But I think it was these days that were usually a little lighter because we weren't doing the news story. This has been Story Hour with Dr. Elliot Morgan. Thank you so much for being here, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to follow or do whatever it is you do on twitch.tv/Elliot Morgan or youtube.com/Elliot Morgan. If you're here and you haven't been saying anything in the chat, just know I can feel your presence, and I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching Sam Cedar from Bob's Burgers debate Jillian Michaels from The Biggest Loser. I hope you enjoyed watching Tim Dillon tell us how we need to just get along with China, and I hope you enjoyed revisiting the double rainbow guy who apparently RIP. If not, hope he's well. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go walk my dog. And that's it. Thank you, guys. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it? All right, here, let's just go through it. Perfect.